about that. I don't care. All I care about is my relatives. Let me drive this home. All I care about is a nigga disrespecting my relative, nigga. That's all I care about, boy. That's all I care about.
Woo! Woo! Shit!
Hey, is everybody on track? Cause this Friday ain't black. Cause we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. Well, I stand up and never quit. We ain't buying shit. From the 25th of November to the 5th of December. Remember, we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. This Friday ain't black. Cause we got each other's back. We ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. We ain't buying. We ain't buying. We ain't buying shit. Shaka Khan.
Nobody's nothing and tell them nothing about what the hell it is that they doing. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave it alone and I ain't going back. If you don't like what you hear here, if you don't like what you hear here, if you don't like what you hear here, go the fuck on. If you don't like what you see on Kendra Damn G, go the fuck on. If you don't like what you see over on Ashley's show, go the fuck on. Why is it that y'all think that you can control shit? Get your own YouTube channel, start it the fuck up, and do whatever the hell it is that you want. But I promise you, I'm not gonna come over to nobody's nothing and tell them nothing about what the hell it is that they're doing. You go the fuck on. If you don't like what you hear here, go the fuck on. If you don't like what you hear here, go the fuck on. If you don't like, go the fuck on. If you don't like what you hear here, go the fuck on.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
The racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
It was a dusty, musty tether, smelling like Cheetah Pea. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. Boy, what the fuck?
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Go where you're being a racist. Racist!
I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You heard what I said? Because I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you.
No, it's not gonna take care of you because I've been in long-term relationships where I was taking care of a man, and a man, you build a man up just for him to really tear you down. What? Like, I don't really care what a man could bring to the table. Like, but don't be broke thinking you about to come use me for my Amazon money.
Girl, what the fuck?
We like free stuff. Huh? So we came out here to get all this free stuff. Huh? But then the car saying, you can't get the free stuff. What? Cause the people want to take it. And how y'all gonna take some stuff that ain't even yours? It's free.
So I got my 2 baskets and took the bus or whatever.
Wait a damn minute.
We get down here, we get some free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay? We are Black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the product? The tools, any other eviction.
Slaves built the pyramids. Slaves built the Parthenon. Slaves built America. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you.
And we're done. We're done. We're finished.
It is difficult. You don't go blind because you married. I see titties and booties every day. Huh? I see titties and booties every day.
I see titties and booties every day.
I see titties and booties every day. Brothers, y'all gonna leave me out here? I need the men to stand up and say amen. If you ain't said that, all sir.
Let the church say amen.
Titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and every day. Titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and
Wait, the wing makes go.
What kind of shit is that?
booties, booties and titties and titties and booties, titties and titties and titties and every day. Booties and titties and titties and booties, booties and titties and titties and booties, booties and titties and titties and booties, booties and titties and titties and every day. Titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I need the men to stand up and say amen. Brothers, y'all gonna leave me out here? Titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and every day, titties and booties.
Good morning, good morning, oh no, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you at. Hey there, besties. Shout out to y'all. I see you, I appreciate you. Please make sure you hit the like button for me, subscribe if you are new. We're back. I'm a little late, I know. Don't come for me. But I slept in today, a little too late. I almost missed the gym. I've already been to Dollar General. I've already put some clothes in. I'm getting some shit done, all right? So sometimes you get tired of getting up early all the damn time. And I said, it's the weekend. I need to sleep in. So tomorrow I'm going to sleep in too. But we'll be back on tomorrow at 10. Yeah, I'm going to do 10 tomorrow. I might come back tonight. I've been looking at some things. You know what? When I think of stuff, I need to write it down because I'm old and I don't even remember what I was thinking about what I wanted to do tonight. Now it's out of my head. So hopefully it'll come back during the rest of the day. But it won't be until like maybe 8 o'clock or so. So hopefully y'all will come back. If not, I completely understand. Shout out to all of y'all and everybody that's been here for all these damn live streams lately. All the new subscribers I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It was heck the other day with 3 live streams in a day. And it's 3 separate live streams. And I'm still recovering from that. Regardless of what other people believe, I guess I'm just supposed to be some Energizer bunny that's just supposed to be able to take everything and never supposed to have any rest. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I actually had to work late last night too. Child, it has been a week. But one more week and I'm out of here. Okay, I'm so excited. I need to be away. Y'all just don't understand. I got to go. Shout out to all the Geminis. What's the date of today? 9 more days, y'all. 9 more days. I'll be in the Cayman Islands. What a way to celebrate 55. I will be in the Cayman, be in the Caribbean, my favorite place, doing my favorite thing, being on a damn cruise ship. So I am ready to go. But I honestly was trying to think of something fun to talk about today, something that's not so depressing, but I was looking at stuff going on. I'm like, you know what? There's people just out here straight up lying about this case because they want Karmelo to be innocent so badly, and it's wild to watch, right? So it's closed caption. That's what I call it when no one can come into the courtroom. So you got to depend on what other people say in order to know what's going on. Well, instead of listening to at least getting information from like I guess the news programs or like the New York Sun gives updates as it goes on. They usually do that with trials, especially ones you can't be inside of. Pause. I forget what it's called, like a rolling commentary or whatever. They give you all the information, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to you, boo. And they you can read it to see what's going on because you can't go in. Well, people are just out here listening to anybody. And while I know that there's people in there from YouTube that go in, they watch, they come out and they give the update. I was looking at this one dude from yesterday, early or day before yesterday, and listening to him. And I'm just like, now I don't have a lot of information on what's going on, but this man is lying. Why are you lying? So y'all are going to just lie to get, and it was a black dude, to get black people more incensed and riled up than they already are in order to make sure that you make it seem like Carmelo Anthony is innocent. That's crazy. That's crazy. But see, this is why I can't be dealing with a lot of you colors. All right, I got to be very mindful of who is in my space, because I don't have time. Because if that's what y'all gonna do and not tell the truth, or at least be fair at minimum, you can't do that. I can't know you. Like it is what it is. But it's going to be interesting to watch, because we just saw Cyrus. I keep forgetting his last name. Belton, if I'm not mistaken. Cyrus Belton was taken on up out of here by Asians. Then I dropped a video to show you that the Asians, at least that one Asian, let me just say that one Asian said, don't buy none of our stuff. Rage bait, of course. However, everything is made in China. So I don't even know why people are going to get upset. Look at everything that you pick up. It basically says made in China. But when I said, look at who's in your community, who's in your neighborhood, that's what I specifically meant. So typically those types of stories happen in, I'm going to just call it the poor neighborhoods. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen anywhere else. I'm just saying typically. But your neighborhoods be filled with non-blacks that you be patronizing. Shout out to the poors. A little bit of the fake poors, but really the poors. This is really y'all's issue for the most part. That little boy was racially profiled for show. You know, he shouldn't have been taken on up out of here. The dude got off. And instead of looking at the information, it's just straight up, it's just racism. Which on his part, I agree that it was. But like we discovered when we looked through the shit and sussed it out, it's like, well, they overcharged. So they couldn't have come back with a guilty verdict if they overcharged them. I think some of y'all said that you could charge them lower and then you can raise, but you can't start at the top and then go down. So they don't want to look at that. They don't want to listen to any type of reasoning. It's just, you know, it's racism. Fine. We already know that everything is racist. So, which it was, that little boy should still be here. He definitely should be here. But where's the smoke for the prosecution? If you want to take a look and see about doing something differently and making some changes, what are they going to do as far as that prosecutor or prosecutors, I don't know how many people, who overcharged? Are y'all got any smoke for him? I mean, I know y'all didn't ransack the building. I don't know what difference that's going to make to y'all. But what are you going to do about that? And what are you doing to speak to your local officials about changing some law that the mama had said, oh, bringing in past occurrences. Child had other times that he was messing around with customers. So this is how you treat your customers? So do you think they're going to look at any of that and honestly and really get that shit changed? Pay attention to that? No. Allegedly. I'm going to go out on a limb and say allegedly. But it's the same narrative that just keeps being played over and over and over again. Nobody wants to look at anything. Nobody wants to check into anything. Everybody wants to just listen to other people. Nobody wants to do anything differently. Same shit will happen again. Wash, rinse, repeat. Again, that's where we get this shit from. So now you come to this trial with Karmelo. See, I'm always going to stand on you shouldn't be taking nobody the hell on up out of here. Other people, depending on their mood, they want to change it up, okay? The only reason that I wouldn't change it up is obviously if your life is in jeopardy or something's happening to one of your kids. Without saying it, you know what I'm saying. I'm not playing those games with the kids, right? But they're already hyping themselves up and hyperventilating and saying all this shit, talking about he's not going to get a fair trial. He's not going to get a fair trial. He's not going to get a fair trial. Because there's no black people on the jury. Now I did watch and listen to Tim Black TV, and is having black people on the jury gonna make sure that Carmelo Anthony is innocent? Because briefly looking at the jury makeup over there with Cyrus, there's plenty of minorities on that jury. There's plenty of minorities on that jury. I feel like 3 blacks, 3 other BIPOCs, 3 other BIPOCs, and then 3 white people. Something like that. Something like that. So why are y'all not crying that over there for that story? Oh yeah, just because you got a couple of colors and that means that everything is everything. Don't look at the charges and look at that could have been the issue in that case. It's just racism. You know, sometimes you gotta dig a little deeper, right? So now we over here, it's already racist because there's no black people. I don't know what the makeup was. I could look it up. I don't feel like it. I don't know what the makeup was of the original 600 potential jurors, but we know a few of them they self-sabotaged themselves, talking about they could never put a black man in jail. He's too much of a baby face. Then there's something about educators. They didn't want educators in there. I don't know. Some stuff that's like, y'all keep playing checkers. Y'all keep playing checkers. So because there's no black people on the jury, now that's racist too. You have black people over here with Cyrus. Like, if y'all listen to some of the stuff that you be saying sometimes and maybe do some investigation into things instead of just listening to people, I don't know. From what I read, it was 3. It was a various makeup of people, but that's what I read. So maybe it's not true. I don't know. But you know what else you have to do in order to get on a jury? You have to at least be registered to vote. So if you're not voting and you're not participating in the process, you don't get called for jury duty. And typically when people get called for jury duty, what do they say? Y'all, I don't want to do all that. I ain't got time for that. Say I'm lying. I don't feel like doing no jury duty. I gotta go to work. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. So you try your best to not go. And then now you turn around and now you just think all of a sudden you think they're going to pick you. Now you want to go. All of these things matter, but y'all don't want to listen. Y'all want to continue to listen to Rolly and the Crew, which I don't even know what they've said because I don't give a fuck. But typically it's everybody else's fault, white supremacy, discrimination, and racism. Now, the fact that they're saying that there's a lot of protesters outside, it is not a surprise. I don't know why people acting like they're surprised. I don't know why people act like they're surprised that there's white people out there protesting. Like, y'all grow up. Grow the fuck up. Of course they're going to be out there. You're out there. Why wouldn't they be out there? They clashing, arguing with one another. Why? Like, whatever. Anyway, so I'm like, let's figure out what's going on. We're going to try to figure out what's going on, right? And before we get into it, though, let me give you an update here. 1 second. Let me bring this up. So you remember Ashley Robinson, who had her fiance, went to Africa, Tanzania, got engaged, and then 2-3 days later ended up deceased, and allegedly it was self-deletion, right? It looks like it's over. She had a funeral about a month ago, I think, y'all. We covered it a little bit. So shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. It says Ashley Janae's fiance, Joe McCann, breaks silence after influencer's cause of death is revealed and police in Zanzibar clear him of charges. So Joe is good. Joe ain't going to jail. Joe is not being held accountable to this because they're saying that it was self-deletion, which is what they said originally. If y'all recall, they was out there. She just got engaged. They started arguing so bad that the neighbors called, and it wasn't because they was having good sounds coming from there. It was enough that they had to separate them and put them in different rooms. He was all the way down here in 65. She was all the way down here in 24. And somehow, some way, she decided to self-delete on her vacation, influencing and being newly engaged. Hollywood Unlocked says Joe McCann, the fiance of late influencer Ashley Janae, has broken his silence after police in Zanzibar, Tanzania, revealed her cause of death and cleared McCann of any criminal charges in her death. As we previously shared, McCann took the influencer overseas for her birthday, April the 5th. During the trip, McCann proposed to Janae, born Ashley Robinson, but within a day's time, authorities said the couple got into a heated disagreement, resulting in hotel staff separating the couple into 2 different rooms. On April the 9th, Janae was declared deceased After McCann told authorities he found her unconscious in her room, he alleged she HANG'd herself from a door, deleting herself. The Tanzania police force said she was suspended from the closet's clothing rail using a robe belt the hotel provided for guests. Local officials initially ruled the death as a self-deletion. However, Janae's family, namely her parents, have consistently denied her ever wanting to harm herself. Following her death, McCann was held in Tanzania along with his passport as police questioned him. He was eventually released and issued a statement. Since then, on Tuesday, June the 4th, TMZ reported that the Tanzania police force officially ruled Janae's death self-deletion, clearing McCann of any wrongdoing. McCann later released a statement to TMZ. He used an old Swahili proverb, "The heart is like a forest, one cannot see into it." He then said, today's official statement from, all right, hopefully it's here, child. There you go. Here's the statement. The heart is like a forest, one cannot see into it. Today's official announcement from Tanzanian authorities that my soulmate, Ashley Robinson, died by self-deletion does not lessen the tragedy of her death. I miss Ashley every moment of every day, and the pain of being without her will never go away. A sudden loss of this magnitude is not something I can simply get over. My priorities all along were getting Ashley home and cooperating with the authorities to ensure that the truth would be revealed. I wish to express my deepest gratitude to the dedicated men and women of the Tanzania police force for their professional, sensitive, and thorough investigation. So that's it. That's all. This says Joe McCann's attorney, Edward Andrew Palzic, speaks after Ashley Janae's cause of death is revealed and police in Zanzibar cleared McCann of charges. Today, the Tanzania police force officially announced that the tragic death of Ashley Robinson was beyond any doubt by self-deletion. This exonerating announcement marks the end of an exhaustive, professional, and unbiased investigation carried out for the sole purpose of revealing the truth. Beyond any doubt, the truth now revealed to the world is this: Joe McCann is a completely innocent man. I know they don't like this. I know they do not like this. So that's them. Blah-blah. I'm not reading all that. Her funeral was on May the 5th. Her body came back to Jersey and didn't have the engagement ring and some personal belongings, which has to do.
An update on the death of model and influencer.
Yeah, I'm not listening to her again. And this is what the trip looked like when they were in Africa. Shout out to Nyla making another appearance. This is probably the last we're gonna see Nyla. Yep, engaged. Yep, GoFundMe. Yep, parents. Yep, TMZ. That lady again. Father speaks. All right. So that's it. That's it. That's all. So rest in peace to that girl. Good luck to her parents, whatever that's going to be for them moving forward. And moving on. All right. Shout out to RBN in the building. Thank you, honey. He said white men will delete you, then help the police look for your body, allegedly. Anyway, moving on. I found this white woman, and child, I thought this was damn Wendy Williams. I was like, Wendy is back, y'all. I was like, come on, girl. You about to get back on the radio? No, this is Jamel. This is Jamel. Child, if she ain't trying to look more white every day, then I don't know who is. It says, should Black people boycott Asian businesses in response to Rick Chow trial? This was she talking about with this.
I'm sure a lot of you have seen this case in South Carolina where Rick Chow, a convenience store owner, was acquitted of killing a 14-year-old Black boy named Cyrus Carmack Delton. It's resulted in a lot of community outrage. And as part of the outrage, a lot of people are suggesting that Black folks boycott all Asian businesses. Not specific, because, say Asian, It's a lot that falls in that. You got Chinese, you got Korean, you got Japanese, whole list of folk fall under that. So I just want to know what y'all think about that, about the idea that Black people should boycott nail shops, food places, anything Asian because of the outcome of this case. Now, we know there has, over time, been a lot of tension between these two communities, especially when you look at the downfall of affirmative action. They used Asian students who were, I can't even use the word used. They willingly allowed themselves to be used in terms of making sure they dismantle affirmative action and similar programs. You can look that up for yourselves, but generally speaking, I just wanted to know, what did you guys think of that suggestion? Should Black people boycott all Asian businesses in response to not just what happened in South Carolina, but also in response to what's been happening around the country as it relates to Asian folks being used as a tool of white supremacy to dismantle programs that were there to benefit all people of color? Let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
All right, calm down. Calm down. I didn't realize it was going to be this long. We're going to go through it. We're going to go through it. But listen, I just find the audacity of this bitch. I said that, I meant that. To come out here talking her bitch ass pro-Blackness, and you niggas listen to her. You coloreds will listen to her. You blacks with this blonde fucking hair. And yes, I got a fucking wig on, but I'm not talking about this white supremacy pro-Black bullshit and everybody white is racist. You coloreds are not going to give up Asian anything. So stop this bullshit now. Say I'm lying. I said in the fucking communities that they come into and they treat y'all like shit. That's what I said. All this boycott all Asians is just asinine. Just to even say that shit is asinine when I said everything basically that you look at is made in China. How the fuck are y'all gonna do that? Y'all can't even do Target, which didn't make any sense. So now all of a sudden, everybody just, not me, child, they talking to y'all. Everybody just supposed to give up all Asian stuff. They're all inclusive, all of them, child. Give up all Asian stuff because of that one case down there in South Carolina. Child, y'all just be saying shit. Child, y'all just be out here saying shit. Now, to respond to that Asian person, the Asian dude that I made the video for, make sure y'all check it out, who said, go ahead and boycott. He said that shit because he know, one, y'all not going to do it. Two, y'all just be talking shit and don't be following through with shit. And three, there's no way that you cannot buy something Asian. There's just no way. Everything is made in China. Child, tell these BI they're going to give up Shein, however you pronounce it. I'm not giving up Mika's. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not giving it up. Nope. For what? What do I get out of it? What do I get from it? Bueller. For fucking what? For one case where y'all wilding the fuck out when your fucking prosecutor overcharged the man and y'all refuse to look into it? Y'all refuse to take this energy to fucking South Carolina and talk to them damn politicians to get that prosecutor or hers off of the fucking, their job or whatever it is that y'all do down there, and get some people that got some damn sense and chastise them or give them a hard time because they overcharged that damn man. None of that, right? That child was definitely racially profiled. So in that neighborhoods that look like that all across the country, you all are allowing those people to come into your community and treat you like shit. This is what I said before. This is what I'm going to say again. Those are the people that need to be doing something with regard to those shops in their neighborhoods, if that's what's going on. And I feel like enough of the time, that is exactly what's going on. But child, as soon as they open up a new hair shop, that shit going to be out the window. Say I'm lying. If a hair shop, distributor, child, whatever it's called, opens up, you think they're not going to be there? You think they're not going to be wrapped around the building like we've seen over and over and over and over and over and over? So you telling me Jamie here with the bundles in her hair is going to give it up? Bueller, Where do you think she got that from? Oh, she bought it from a black person. Where the fuck do you think that person got the shit from? Y'all, come on now. The dummism is getting dumber than the original dummism. The dummism is getting worse than the original dummism. Why don't Jamie and Rolly and the rest of them come down to your communities where they're treating you like shit and help you out at that point, at that level? That's the problem. That's where the problem is. Like that dude listed, he said, the hair places, the gas stations, the Chinese food places or whatever it might be, the, oh my God, there's the laundromats. So y'all gonna see, so y'all, whoever, still gonna go over there to them, especially in that particular town. They didn't even have to do that and destroy that place. You know what would have been more effective and people would have had a lot more respect for it? Is if you just stood out there and you actually did a protest for that particular place where that happened and didn't go in there. I think that would have been a lot more effective. So now they just file their insurance claim, get their money back, whatever the fuck they need, move on to the next neighborhood where this didn't happen at, and then another Asian will buy that place. Because your colors are not going to buy it. Say I'm lying. Y'all pulling your money together, Bueller? Y'all, yes, massage parlors. Y'all, sassy straights, y'all giving up the massage parlors? Okay. I just want to know. I'm just trying to ask questions because all this talk is just talk. Just talk. That's it. Don't even know what you be saying because you don't want to look into anything. Y'all out here wild and crashing the fuck out off of people who ain't even giving you all the information. You won't look into the infodamnation. Y'all should be in front of whatever their headquarters is for the state where the prosecutors are. You should be out there protesting, saying, look at what the fuck you did. You gotta go. Turn it into some shit that don't even make no damn sense when you know damn well you still gonna go there. But I digress. Let's hear this heifer again.
So I'm sure a lot of you have seen this case in South Carolina where Rick Chow, a convenience store owner, was acquitted of killing a 14-year-old black boy named Cyrus Carmack Belton. It's resulted in a lot of community outrage. And as part of the outrage, a lot of people are suggesting that black folks boycott all Asian businesses.
You know why she didn't say to do it? Because any other time she would say to do it, right? She didn't say to necessarily do it because she ain't giving it up her damn self. Where's she gonna get this hair from, Bueller? She ain't gonna sit up here and say, I think that's what y'all should do. She ain't gonna give this up. She looking whiter and whiter by the damn day. Miss Pro-Black.
Not specific, because, say Asian. It's a lot that falls in that. You got Chinese, you got Korean.
Oh, and then she want to give you some tape and tea. It's all of them, child. Not just Chinese. You might think it's Chinese. You might think it's Korean. You might think it's Vietnamese. Because, child, the next thing they're going to say is that, all you passport bros, you better bring your asses back here to protest. Yo, what if they said that? You passport bros, all of y'all got to come back. All of y'all got to come back to protest Asians after what happened in South Carolina. Bring your asses back.
You got Japanese, whole list of...
The Japanese, child, what don't they make Toyota? What cars do they make? Toyota. Do they make Nissan? I'm not sure. So y'all gonna give up to your Toyotas. Mitsubishi, so y'all not gonna buy no cars?
Folk fall under that. So I just want to know what y'all think about that.
She just want to know what y'all think. Did she ever care about what y'all think? Now all of a sudden she want to know what y'all think. Oh yeah. She ain't giving it up. That's the code. That's what she's saying. She ain't giving that shit up. You think she gonna sit up here and get rid of this blonde hair as she blondly gets blonder every time we see her more blonde? But this is your pro-black. Child, please. Infinity, child, Kia, goodbye. So then tell the Kia boys to stop stealing Kias in protest of the Asians. Shout out to Ashley Foot in the building. I appreciate you, honey. Says if you want to be like Jamel, nobody want to be like her. Oh, light like Jamel? Then it's time to order the all-new Ashy Off Skin Brightening Cream endorsed by Serenai, made by Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Goodbye. By Lagos Labs Pharmaceuticals. I say buy it. I agree. That's funny. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Child, these people just be saying any old thing.
The idea that Black people should boycott nail shops, food places.
Y'all, I need y'all to tell me right now, do y'all think that Black people are going to stop getting their nails done for this protest? Bueller, I'm going to wait. Do y'all think, yay or nay, that Black women are going to give up Asians and not get their nails done, or allegedly do it on their own, or allegedly find someone Black? Because they ain't many. Trust me, I've tried to find you colors. No. Okay, goodbye. Nay. Okay. You meant Serena? Okay. Thank you, boo. Exactly. Ain't giving that shit up. Long ass nails all the way down to the crack of your ass. All right. These people just out here saying shit. Don't even make no sense. Between the nails and that hair store, goodbye. Good fucking bye. That's why that man can come out here and make that daggone video and say, go ahead, boycott us. He's saying it because he knows it's not going to happen.
Is anything Asian because of the outcome of this case. Now, we know there has, over time, been a lot of tension between these two communities.
Child, did y'all have tensions with the Asians? Any Blacks have tensions with Asians? Because, child, I'm not going to just say I've never had, I don't think, a tension with problem with Asians, except for the fact that they be late when I come in there because somebody else had an appointment. I don't appreciate that. The way that they act in the damn store, if they don't come over, then I fucking leave. I don't care. I just don't go back. But other people seem to think that, everything is racist. Child, it's white people. Now it's Asian people. Who else? I don't even understand how y'all even be living with all these problems that some of y'all be having.
Especially when you look at the downfall of affirmative action.
She pulled affirmative action out of her ass. I don't know.
Used Asian students who were, I can't even use the word used. They willingly allowed themselves to be used in terms of making.
You mean the way that Blacks willingly allow themselves to be used when they go into those places knowing damn well that they target them, they profile them, but still continue to patron them? Oh, forget all that, right?
Make sure they dismantle affirmative action and similar programs. You can look that up for yourselves, but generally speaking,
So the problem with affirmative actions are the Asians now and not Trump. I thought it was Trump and the Republicans, but now it's the Asians. So it's anybody and everybody. Okay. And the Black nails shops charge more. The sisters will boycott until they need that filling. Exactly. They do charge more. That's the thing about patronizing a Black business. They always charge you more than everyone else. I don't, do your thing, child. Do your thing. But they typically do charge more.
Just wanted to know, what did you guys think of that suggestion? Should Black people boycott all Asian businesses in response to not just what happened in South Carolina, but also in response to what's been happening around the country as it relates to Asian folks being used as a tool of white.
Now Asian folks are being used as a tool of white supremacy. So that's them doing the wrong thing. So you didn't bring this up before in order to boycott them, but now you want to get somebody's opinion. Now be mindful. She ain't saying to do it because she ain't trying to give it up herself. I promise you she ain't trying to give it up. Where's she gonna get this blonde hair from, Bueller? Where's she gonna get this blonde hair from, Bueller? Random. I'm gonna just say random. Thank you, hon. Looked it up. Willingly wasn't part of it. Jamel is a liar. The whole thing didn't even sound like it made sense. Thank you for confirming, though. It doesn't even sound right. They were used. Well, maybe they weren't used. They were willing to participate in the affirmative action. I'm like, what, girl, what? Pulling shit out of their ass, but the colors will go ahead and listen to her. She's spitting. She's spitting. Jamel is spitting. She know. We gonna boycott until the nails need to be done.
Around the country as it relates to Asian folks being used as a tool of white supremacy to dismantle programs that were there to benefit all people of color. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
Now it's all people of color. Child, y'all keep listening to these motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about you. Y'all have fun with that. Y'all have fun with that, child. Moving on, child. Moving on. Let me just go here real quick because I found this, and then we'll get into this Karmelo stuff for sure. Because you know how the colored community likes to toss their people, but they want to fight for people that they probably should toss. Shout out to Sweat Equity, right? So they were trying their best to cut for those ones that deleted Julio Fulio. Then when he turned around because he thought he had a lick and said, here's the link in my bio, they said, nigga, I don't know who you think you are because y'all are just so sometimey. I can't do it. Y'all colors are so sometimey. But I remember way back when Bill Cosby tried to tell y'all, yeah, he was still doing the things that he has been accused and convicted of. But see, they didn't care about that then because everyone was doing it, allegedly, at least in the 70s, okay? Because if I heard about it, then it had to be a thing. I was a child. Shout out to Generation X. So Bill tried to talk to y'all. Respected, TV shows, good pillar of the community. He wanted people to go to school. He went to Temple. He touted college, get an education. He wanted what was best for you colors. You don't want to go. Y'all don't want to listen to him. It says, was Bill Cosby right to go off on the black community? Now, this was some years ago. Let's hear what Bill had to say.
Those comments made by Bill Cosby on issues facing young African Americans. Ray Suarez has our story.
Let's put on some music round here.
Entertainer Bill Cosby is known for making people laugh, but this summer he's been at the center of controversy for his tough talk aimed at some in Black America. Most recently at a Rainbow Push Coalition dinner in Chicago earlier this month, where he criticized.
Oh, he was over there with Jesse. Rest in peace to Jesse.
Some black men.
You young men and old men, you've got to stop beating up your women.
Oh, no. Y'all got to stop beating up your women? You mean like that boy on the street in New York where he asked for the phone number, she said no, he beat her and stomped her, and then the mama said, not my baby. Wait, you mean over there in Chicago where the mama was just walking her kids home from school because she came and got them from school, and then all them little crumb snatchers came and they started beating her up and beating up her kids too? You mean like that? Woo! Where was Jamel on any of that? Where was Jamel on any of that? All right, my bad.
Because you can't find a job.
Y'all can't find a job. You sassy straights. Y'all can't find a job. You couldn't find a job then. You can't find a job now. You ain't shit. There was a lot of unemployed black men. There were. I think it's because they was taking manufacturing jobs away or something like that. But this is one of the reasons why when I go to when we go to Umar school, it's in the hood. Gotta be in the daytime. Gotta be in the daytime. You still see people. We've gone through, we recorded while we go through, just standing around. Those are the places where those Asian communities are. There's a there's like an Asian restaurant on every corner. Y'all know it's true. It's on a corner, literally. And then you open up the screen door and you go in, and there's barely any room to do anything. And, you know, people can't understand the people behind the counter. They're yelling, they're carrying on, but they're still going to stand there and wait for their food, 4 pieces of chicken, some shrimp fried rice, and a roll and a soda. Say I'm lying. That's the exact place where they are. And you think that they're going to boycott those? They not.
Because you didn't want to get an education.
Speaking to the mostly black audience, Cosby disparaged the casual use of racial slurs by African-American entertainers.
You mean the N-word? Well, Bill Cosby, you know they came up with a whole new N-word called YN, and it's taken fire. That thing ain't even been a year old, and it's taken off. Because this is what the coloreds like. Negativity, and then be upset when somebody talking about what's true, and then they say that you're a white supremacist. But y'all ran with YN. Ran with it. Why is that? Y'all like it, we love it.
When you put on a record, and that record is yelling this and that and cursing all over the... thing, and you got your little 6-year-old, 7-year-old sitting in the back seat.
Oh no, Bill, they don't do that no more. Oh yeah, they do. Did you see the one where the kids is all in the car and they all hanging out, giving the finger and pointing their fingers like there's weapons and singing whatever the fuck that girl be saying. It's okay though, child. You don't know. Bill don't know nothing. This is in the 70s. Now I'm gonna say this must have been the 80s, but he's been talking this way since the 70s. And what happens when you try to tell someone and correct them and actually give them something that will help them for the future? You get shit on. But if Jamel out here with her blonde ass hair says, y'all really gonna give up Asian? You gonna boycott Asian? Y'all wanna listen to her. You listen to Roland talk about it's all Trump's fault, white supremacy. Everything since before now is Trump's fault. Even when Bill was talking this, Monique come out here and say something to y'all. And what do y'all say? Ain't listening to you. Who she thinks she is? She ain't my aunt. She talking about? Go talk to your gay husband. Say I'm lying. Okay, cool.
To the car. Those children hear that?
And he said too many black parents are avoiding personal responsibility.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, too many black parents are avoiding personal responsibility. You mean to say that it's always a sassy straight's fault? Wow. You mean teen takeovers? Wow. You shouldn't talk about that. You doing white supremacy. Is that what I'm doing? Okay, because I don't go along with your foolishness. I think I didn't see them comments, some of the comments over there on Just Broadcast. And even on my own Instagram, because I reposted something. All you do is down your own people. How are you telling me I'm downing people when this is the truth? Like, how am I downing them? How about you do something to change it so that the narrative can change? Because until you change the behavior, the narrative doesn't change. Why is that so hard to understand? If you're actually doing said thing, how can you change it? And this has nothing to do with nobody else but black people. What he was saying then and what's going on now. This shit with the Cyrus Belton, I think his last name is. I said, you allow these people to come into your neighborhoods, treat you like shit, racially profile you. You still give them money. You still patronize them. That's what happens. That's where it needs to be stopped at. And that's where Pastor Jamal Bryant, who would tell y'all to boycott Target. How does Target help the Blacks? Y'all sitting up here letting him tell you is DE&I when DE&I is barely, 2000, barely 6 years old. And y'all gonna sit up here and worry about something that does not even help you colors, but you want to run and do it because they told you to do it, because as long as they say it's racism and white supremacy, then it must be true. Y'all fighting to have illegal immigrants, asylum seekers stay. You're fighting to have them stay because of your hatred for Donald Trump. You're fighting against your own interest in order to stick it to Donald Trump, of which you are not. Of which you are not. And you're doing nothing to help you and your community, and neither are those people that's telling you to do it. Notice that they're never out here, and then I'm gonna let this play. Notice that all them people that's telling y'all to keep protesting and keep not going back and doing, you don't see them down on the ground, do y'all, Biller? Do y'all ever see them down on the ground? Y'all love taking your commands from those people who allegedly care for you and care about black people, allegedly, while the only thing that come out their mouth is white supremacy and racism. And so now it's Asians that are keeping y'all under white supremacy. And then y'all can't do nothing as they get richer, first generation millionaires, black, lot of tethers, but telling y'all you can't do it because of white supremacy, and not saying that in these daggone neighborhoods where they do take advantage of you, where you are poor, instead of coming in there and teaching you about finance and teaching you about money and teaching you not to get pregnant, teaching you about birth control, teaching you all the things that need to be taught that are not being taught because they allow people like those MFers that want to teach your kids about ABCDism because they think that's important and you allow it. And then you want to talk white supremacy. It's you blindly walking yourselves right into what the fuck it is that they want you to do. Blindly. Your kids coming out dumb as a box of rocks. They cannot read. They cannot comprehend. Where do you think that life is going to end up? You cannot read. You do not know how to comprehend. You don't know how to utilize money properly. Anyway, come on, Bill.
It is almost analgesic to talk about what the white man is doing against us. And it keeps a person frozen in their seat.
Cosby
Wow. Same shit, different year.
came under fire for those comments.
It gives a society that may have racist tendencies at times to see it as a pass, an excuse, and say, see, they're not doing for themselves.
Who gives a fuck what they think? You got Elijah. I think he might be deceased. Y'all let me know. You got Elijah sitting up here going against Bill. I thought y'all supposed to be rocking together regardless. He black, you black, everybody black. Oh, no. Because you think that what you're saying makes sense because you don't want black people to be upset. So just say, that just gives the white people an excuse. White people going white people. It don't matter what we say. Why y'all so worried about what the fuck they say? Who gives a shit? Do what needs to be done for yourself and us as a fucking community. Nah, y'all always want to be focused on white people. What the fuck they think. I thought y'all didn't care what white people thought. I thought you didn't care what the fuck white people did. And then as soon as somebody says some hard fucking actual factual things, white supremacy, racism, this nigga right here. Okay.
While so many African Americans are working very, very hard.
Nobody said that they weren't. Way to move the fucking goalposts. Nobody said that they weren't. But this is one of your people that y'all been listening to. This is one of the people that y'all been listening to. Your circumstance stays the same. Child, you can even look at that by years. I usually say, look at yourself from this point this year till the previous year. What's changed for you? If the shit's still the same, that's a you problem. But child, you do it for 5 years and see what the difference is. Do it for 10 years and see if there's a damn difference. Are you moving up or are you moving down? Is anything changing or is it not? Is it really because some white person said you're not going to have something? Or is it because you chose not to do it because you're listening to niggas like him, meaning Elijah Cummings, that says, well, you know, it's an excuse for white people to say that, see, they don't do it. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck. White people, calm down. I don't give a fuck. Never have given a fuck about what white people thought about me. Honestly, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks for the most part. I definitely don't give a shit about what white people say. I don't give a shit. Which is why when y'all sitting up here talking, not y'all, you know what I'm saying. When you sitting up here talking about, shit, I lost my train of thought. My bad, I lost my train of thought.
It was the second time in 2 months Cosby's remarks drew controversy. In May, at
Bill Cosby was out here trying to help y'all. Bill Cosby out here trying to help y'all. Child.
Howard University, Cosby said this: the lower economic people are
poors. He's talking to y'all back then, poors. Okay? Y'all didn't want to listen. Yeah.
not holding up their end in this deal. These people are not parenting. They're buying.
Back then, Bill, they weren't parenting? Are you kidding me? Oh, no.
Buying things for kids.
Oh, child, not $500 sneakers. It was If they was $500 then, I thought they was about $250, $300 now. Are they more than that?
$500
thing, and you got your little 6-year-old
$7 sneakers for what? And won't spend $200 for hooked on.
Oh no! Oh no! He wasn't lying then, and it still holds true today. Won't buy. We'll say that little boy that did that. Read this in Philly, and they couldn't read it, and they certainly couldn't comprehend it. That's the exact damn thing. So you telling me in 2026, you've got these kids out here that don't know how to read, that don't know how to comprehend, that don't know how to pronounce words, don't know what they mean, and they're supposed to go out here and do what? It's supposed to go out here and do what? No Child Left Behind was the worst thing that ever happened, and so was participation trophies. So as long as you feel good, then everything is everything until you get into the real damn world. Now you're in the real world. Now all of a suddenly, not all of a suddenly, but what he's saying from way back when, I think 2004, now we 2026, it's the same shit. Look at the thing with the that wasn't that Asian. It's Swatch. Which Swatch? Swatch is Swiss. Swatch is Swiss, but they partnered with Albemarle, whatever the fuck that name is. Where they come from? I don't know if they're Asian or not. Where they come from? They ain't come from America. But y'all, all them people was trying their best to get it. I thought that these was tough times. I thought nobody could afford the eggs, the milk, and the gas is outrageous. Excuse me, even though it's coming down. It's coming down very, very slowly, but the gas is coming down. At least around here it is. You don't hear nobody talking about that now, do you? It always goes up and goes down. I'm not saying that the war is the right thing to have done. Absolutely not. And I'm not trying to pay no $100 to fill up either. But the gas is coming down. Finally. Now I need it back to be like $3.15. I'll be happy. But if it could have a 2 in the front of it, I'll be happy about that too. Anyway, I don't even know. Do y'all even know what Hooked on Phonics is? Not y'all. You know what I'm saying.
Phonics. He further clarified those remarks on PBS's The Tavis Smiley Show in May.
What I'm saying here, and the mistake I made, was in saying that there are people who are striving and working in the lower economic area. The people who are not holding.
That is true. He's absolutely right.
Holding up their end is quite obvious to me, and that happens to be those people who don't have a clue in terms of what education, learning standard English.
Learning standard English means no Ebonics.
Math. And
knowing how to count, add, subtract, all that good stuff. Even though we don't use algebra. I don't use algebra or calculus, but, you know, it was something to do, I guess, when we was in school.
And graduating from school.
Wow, graduating from school. What a horrible thing for this man to say. What a horrible thing for this man to say. How dare you, Bill Cosby?
What that has for them in terms of empowerment.
$1 sneakers for what? And won't spend $200.
Anyway, so that's what Billy Boy was saying back then. You'll never get me to hate Bill Cosby. It will never, ever happen. Anyway, let's get into this Carmelo Anthony stuff. Let's see a few news programs, then I'll read this article of the timeline of what was going on. MGGA, make gas great again. I agree, child. I agree. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Frisco track meets stabbing trial. Jurors hear from law enforcement who responded to the incident.
Prosecutors are presenting their case in the Frisco track meet stabbing trial with more witness testimony right now. Carmelo Anthony is accused of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf in a case that got national attention. And we've got WFA crews in the courtroom. Janelle Fort live this morning at the Collin County Courthouse with the latest. Hi, Janelle.
Well, Kara, so far this morning, jurors have heard from first responders and law enforcement who responded to that Frisco ISD track meet stabbing call last year. The first witness this morning was Neil Adams, a Frisco firefighter and paramedic. He told jurors the 911 call came in around 10 a.m. and it took about 6 or 7 minutes to get to the stadium. He says it was drizzling.
Is that a long time? 6 to 7 minutes when you call for the oppressor and or the firefighters? I feel like that's a long ass time. Maybe it's just me, child. Anyway.
And it took about 6 or 7 minutes to get to the stadium. He says it was drizzling when he arrived and he jumped a fence to get to the Memorial High School tent. Adam testified that when he reached Austin Metcalf, Metcalf was not breathing. He did not have a pulse. He said Metcalf was moved from the bleachers into an ambulance. And despite life-saving efforts, he never regained consciousness. Now, jurors then heard from Eduardo Cortez, a Frisco ISD school resource officer. Cortez testified he was at Sally Middle School, just south of the stadium, when he heard the stabbing call over the radio and ran to the scene. He said he saw Anthony on the other side of a fence and described him as cooperative. Cortez testified he handcuffed Anthony and radioed that he had, quote, the alleged suspect detained. He told jurors Anthony responded, quote, I am not alleged, I did it. Cortez also testified Anthony said without being asked to, quote, he put his hands on me, I told him not to. Jurors were shown surveillance video and body camera video of Anthony being handcuffed, seated on the ground, and later walking to a police car, and of Anthony crying. Now, I'm going to look at my notes here because this information just came in. The next witness was another Frisco school officer, Jacob Shawls. He testified he helped secure the crime scene and collect evidence. He told jurors officers were looking for a knife and that a school administrator later spotted one in the bleachers. Now, jurors were shown pictures of what was described as a partially open folding knife along with Anthony's blue Centennial High School backpack. Prosecutors then entered both the knife and the backpack and evidence. So court is expected to last until 6 o'clock today. Because recording is not allowed in the courtroom, the evidence that jurors are seeing is not something that's going to be publicly available, including that body cam video that we just told you about. So our updates are coming from our crews who are inside of the courtroom, reporters, legal experts, and a sketch artist that is giving all of that information to us so that we can give it to you. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Excuse me. Thank you, Janelle. We appreciate your update.
All right, girl. All right, so 6 to 7 minutes. So y'all, yeah, that sounds like a long time. So he was deceased. They got Karmelo, which when we went over this way back, whenever this happened last year, we read over what they were saying, and that's the same stuff as before, which, you know, the people on TikTok don't seem to know how to read. Let me go over here to another news story from yesterday. This says tense testimony from students challenges self-defense claim in Carmelo Anthony Red Rum trial.
Welcome back. Frisco high school students who witnessed the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf backed up the state's case during testimony in the Carmelo Anthony murder trial today. Those students described a tense scene inside the tent at a track meet, and they claim that Anthony's actions were not in self-defense. Our JD Miles joins us live now from the Collin County Courthouse with the very latest on day 2 of testimony. JD.
Ken, this was the most painful day of the trial by far for the family of Austin Metcalf. That's what his father, Jeff Metcalf, told me. The parents watched police body cam videos that captured the lifeless body of their son receiving CPR, while in the background you could hear the haunting wails of his twin brother, Hunter, who was also at the scene. Now, prosecutors also presented for the first time, we got to see the 5-inch folding knife that they submitted as the murder weapon. And we've heard from current and former Memorial High School students who are presenting their accounts of what happened. The first of what's expected to be several track and field teammates of Austin Metcalf testified as witnesses during the Carmelo Anthony murder trial. Those who were under the tent at Kirkendall Stadium on April 2nd, 2025, described the scene before, during, and after the fatal stabbing. A 17-year-old testified, "I remember people confronting Carmelo and saying, 'You shouldn't be here. You probably should leave our tent.' I also said you should leave." Prosecutor, "Was it aggressive?" "I don't think so. I remember it getting more aggressive. I remember Carmelo refusing to leave and Austin saying, 'You need to leave,' and Carmelo saying, 'Touch me and find out.'" That student and others say the defendant was asked to leave as many as 15.
So several people, in addition to Austin, were asking him to leave. I feel like we talked about that not too long ago. For the track teams type of sport, you don't be under other people's, tents and stuff like that. Is it the worst thing in the world? Probably not, but it's like, that's just how it is. It is what it is.
I remember Carmelo refusing to leave and Austin saying, "You need to leave," and Carmelo saying, "Touch me and find out." That student and others say the defendant was asked to leave as many as 15 times. Prosecutors asked him, "Did anyone try to gang up on him?" His answer, "No, sir." "How long did this go on?" "Roughly 2 minutes." Was Carmelo angry?
Oh, that was less time than it took for the ambulance to get there.
Anyone try to gang up on him? His answer, "No, sir." "How long did this go on?" "Roughly 2 minutes." Was Carmelo angry? "Yes, sir." Was Austin angry? "Yes, sir." Carmelo started refusing to leave. Prosecutors, who was provoking? Carmelo. Austin leans in to push him and Carmelo stabs him. Carmelo had his hands inside a backpack and we thought it was a bluff. He says he and others didn't believe Carmelo would do anything because they live in a, quote, safe community. Austin fell down the bleachers onto his back and he got up. He lifted up his shirt where his chest was all bloody and he said, "I think I got stabbed." Prosecutor, did he say anything? I think he said, "Oh my God." Another student, Jalen Matthews, backed up the state's case when prosecutors asked him, "Did it look like Austin was trying to pick a fight?" His answer, "No, sir." "Did it look like Carmelo Anthony was trying to pick a fight?" "Yes, sir." "Did this look like self-defense to you?" "No, sir." "Was Carmelo Anthony the aggressor?" Witness, "Yes, sir." Now, there's been a lot of speculation for more than a year about what kind of role, if any, Austin's twin brother Hunter might have played in this confrontation. Both of those witnesses and others say Hunter was actually on the other side of the tent scrolling on his phone and did not become involved until after.
Typical. He ain't even paying attention, child.
Others say Hunter was actually on the other side of the tent scrolling on his phone and did not become involved until after Austin was stabbed. Now, there are more students taking the stand right now in the courthouse behind me. We'll bring you their testimony later today. Live in McKinney, JD Miles, CBS.
All right. So the kids said the aggressor was Carmelo. I know the colors will say that they just being racist. We just get your minds right to say that, to think that. So he was 15 people or so. You got to go, leave. This is not your spot. You got to go. He can be wherever he want. I can hear it now. He can be wherever he want. You should follow the rules. In my opinion, like, I don't know yet, just from gate. when I think about how my stepfather said that I, talking to me specifically, need to get myself and my emotions under control, because you will do something that will take a second to do and it will change the trajectory of your life. And this is probably, unfortunately, what happened here. And instead of taking stuff like this when these things happen and using it as a lesson to teach kids, people just rather just say it's racist, and then nothing changes, and then it's just wash, rinse, repeat, child. This is ridiculous. Anyway, let me see. This is tense testimony from students challenges self-defense claim in Karmelo Anthony Red Room trial.
Welcome back. Frisco high school students who witnessed the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf backed up the state's case during testimony in the Karmelo Anthony murder trial today.
I'm assuming that this is also still the prosecution presenting their case. So their witnesses would make sense that they're going to go along with what it is that they want them to say. I mean, what they're trying to prove, they're going to use those people. But these are things that we heard when it first happened, and they put it out. They put it out in, you know, when they had put it out way back when. So now they're saying what the words actually are on the record now.
Those students describe a tense scene inside the tent at a track meet, and they claim that Anthony's actions were not in self-defense. Our JD Miles joins us live now from the Collin County Courthouse with the very latest on day 2 of testimony. JD.
Ken, this was the most painful day of the trial by far for the family of Austin Metcalf. That's what his father, Jeff Metcalf, told me. The parents watched police body cam videos that captured the lifeless body of their son receiving CPR, while in the background you could hear the haunting wails of his twin brother, Hunter, who was also at the scene. Now, prosecutors also presented for the first time, we got to see the 5-inch folding knife that they submitted as the murder weapon. And we've heard from current and former Memorial High School students who are presenting their accounts of what happened. The first of what's expected to be several track and field teammates of Austin Metcalf testified as witnesses during the Karmelo Anthony murder trial. Those who were under the tent at Kirkendall Stadium on April 2nd, 2025, described the scene before, during, and after the fatal stabbing. A 17-year-old testified, "I remember people confronting Karmelo and saying, 'You shouldn't be here. You probably should leave our tent.' I also said you should leave." Prosecutor, was it aggressive? I don't think.
All right, so they ain't got nothing more different than what we just saw. Hold on a second. Shout out to Jay. He says, "Did Austin say, 'Oh my God,' like messy?" Child. Will not know unless they leak something, of course, which they could. They, you know, shit gets leaked all the time, right? Let's go to court TV, actually. They say chilling video from track meet stabbing revealed to jurors.
One who was inside of that courtroom listening to these opening statements. No cameras, but we have our eyes and ears inside of the courtroom. Cody Thomas joins us now live outside of the courthouse in McKinney, Texas. Cody, good to see you. Tell me about those opening statements. First of all, what was it like being inside of the courthouse for those?
But yeah, Julia, as we know this judge is really laying down the law inside that courtroom, being very strict on how people go to and from the courtroom, and about, us as media using electronics, even admonished members of the gallery for whispering to each other, saying if he caught somebody whispering again, I didn't see anybody whispering, but, he just said if he saw that again, they'd keep them out. He kicked them out permanently. But Julia, to touch on those opening statements, of course, the prosecution is continuing the narrative that we've heard from the beginning since April of 2025, that Karmelo Anthony was under that tent for no good reason. He was just there, and then Austin Metcalf and his friends came up to approach him to say, get out from under the tent, to which Karmelo Anthony, the prosecution says, got aggressive, reached in that bag, pulled out a knife, and stabbed Austin Metcalf. But the defense in their opening statements painted a different picture. They began by humanizing Karmelo Anthony, talking about how he had 2 jobs in high school, how he was, a brother, a son, an oldest brother, how he was a 3.7 GPA A student in school. Just really painting him out to be a good human being before diving into their version of the facts of the case. Now,
I mean, you can be a good human being. He definitely can be a good human being, but I don't, some people are saying, oh, he's never had any problem with the law. He's a high grade student, honor roll student. He's on his way to college. He's a track star, football star. That can all very well be true. Does that absolve you from consequences from your actions? You didn't want the Asian man for Cyrus. You wanted him to be prosecuted, right? What's the difference? What's the difference? I'm assuming they charged right. What do you, for y'all that know, I don't even know what it is. Did they charge right here? What do y'all think about that? Because I don't even know what the charges are. Besides a red rum, but like which one, to see if it's a difference between, whatchamacallit, the Chinese guy, the Asian guy in this case.
Of course, we've heard that statement from eyewitnesses or a witness on the stand, or not on the stand, in the area, saying that Karmelo reached into the bag saying, "Touch me if you want to," or "See what happens if you touch me." And that's what led, when Austin pushed him, he stabbed him in the chest. But the defense attorney says it was more of a, as long as you don't touch me, we'll be cool, implying that, everything's fine. I understand there's a verbal altercation going on here, but just don't put your hands on me. So that was the narrative the defense painted there. They also said that Karmelo was under the tent because he was seeing somebody he was familiar with, a friend of his still girlfriend now, somebody he'd been acquainted with, somebody he recognized. And then they walked through some of that video, Julia, showing that Karmelo Anthony was under the tent for about 2 minutes before Metcalf, his twin brother, and their friends got to the tent, and the whole ordeal went down in about 4.5 minutes of both parties being under that tent, Julia. But again, emotional out here. I'm looking around it here. There's a lot more demonstrators than there were yesterday during jury selection. So, each side is here. It's a polarizing case, of course, that has got many headlines across this country, but those opening statements were definitely powerful on either side.
Notes, Cody. We're so fortunate that you've been able to share with us what is happening inside of that courtroom. Tell us more about the surveillance video, because your notes on this were very interesting. What were you able to see? And then I also understand there was a reaction from the victim's family when that was being played.
Yeah, Julia. So that's in the opening statement. They were referencing surveillance video, and of course, everyone wanted to see video. We haven't seen anything. There's been a gag order on this case since the very beginning last year. So they start playing this video. There are 5 different angles of the video getting walked through from testimony by the forensic video analyst, and they were very wide-angle videos, Julia. And the witness had to talk about how he had to use the software to zoom in and try to make the video as clear as possible. And even then, Julia, I won't lie, it still looked very fuzzy and hazy. It definitely sets the scene. You can see what's going on, but even the prosecution distinctly said that you won't be able to uniquely identify anyone, but they referred to Karmelo on the video as the person of interest, and they referred to Austin Metcalf as the victim. Of course, as the forensic analyst has digested this video and dissected it and pointed out everything that we need to know, going through shoes and the type of clothing they were wearing. So we identified who each person was in the video, even though they kind of just look like humanoid blobs. But you see, one thing that stood out to me, Julia, is that, I'm very familiar with track meets. I was under the impression that, when you go to a championship track meet, you have multiple tents on the same side of the bleachers. But in this video, because it's early in the morning, just before 10 a.m. when all this happened, the high school where all this went down, Memorial High School, it was just an isolated tent in the bleachers by itself. There were no surrounding, schools or anything in the general area. You saw some schools walking in, but I guess, the meet was just starting. But anyway, they identified Karmelo walking up the bleachers, kind of walking towards the tent. He kind of goes towards someone, and you see him standing there for a couple of minutes. Then you see Austin Metcalf, his twin brother, and his friends walking up and getting under the tent. And then once everything's happening under the tent, it just kind of looks like a blob of people. You can't really make out anything that's really going on for 5 to 6 minutes. And then you see a quick to and from. And they were implying that was like the push, the initial contact. You can't really see anything happening before then. You see people walking by. They're not really, turning heads as if something's loud and, something's catching their attention. But all of a sudden you see that to and from, and then you see Karmelo, or who they identify as person of interest, who we're assuming to be Karmelo Anthony. He runs out from under the tent, and then he's running down the bleachers, sprinting a ways away from the tent and out of the stadium onto the track and everything towards one of his coaches. And eventually after that, we see another angle of the video where Karmelo's been taken into custody by police. But the reaction, Julia, it wasn't a visceral reaction. When you saw the to and from, of course, that's the stabbing action, if you will. All I saw him sitting 2 rows behind Austin Metcalf's father, and his head was just kind of in his hands, kind of like this. Wasn't necessarily crying, but just implying that he doesn't really want to see, even though you can't see the stabbing, but he knows in his mind this is the moment that his son lost his life. So he was just there, obviously overwhelmed by everything. I'm sitting right behind the Metcalf family. Karmelo Anthony's family is on the opposite side of the courtroom. But again, the video, not as impactful as I thought, but it definitely is a scene setter to help us understand clearer as to what's going on, since we haven't seen anything so far in this case.
Incredible detail, Cody. You're setting the scene for us. Not being able to see what's going on in this case that has so many eyes on it is really helpful. You also broke some news for us earlier when it came to the jury. There've been a lot of questions about who's on this jury, what may be their demographics, how will that impact a case that has had a lot of polarization racially, especially online, even though we know these parties say, even the prosecution today in the opening saying this is not about race. But what have you observed about the racial makeup of this jury?
Yeah, Julia. So, of course, this with the optics of this case, this story here, young black kid, young white kid, violent crime. Of course, people are going to have their opinions. They're going to have their judgments. And, the jury was, that the makeup of the jury was in question. And so, of course, I was in jury selection yesterday, and that jury was seated around just after 5 p.m. yesterday. And I couldn't necessarily see the courtroom today. We saw reports last night that there was no African-American people on the jury, and that
all male jurors are white. 3 Asian women. Oh, Lord, this ain't the time to be going in with the Asians, y'all. 3 Asian women, 1 Middle Eastern woman. Hopefully it's not Somalians. 1 other woman of color. What the hell does that mean? Who's left? 12 jurors and 6 alternates. Yeah, child.
Held to be true. It's a majority white jury, of course, made up of men and women. There are 3 Asian women on the jury. One looked what looked to be a Middle Eastern woman on the jury, and another person of darker complexion on the jury, but none of them were African American. There's a total of 12 jurors, 6 alternates, so a total of 18, I guess I should say. But yeah, majority white jury. All the men are white as well. So the reports were true. No African American people on this jury. I remember yesterday during jury selection, the defense raised an objection to the prosecution's strikes. In the strike zone, there were 3 black female jurors that the prosecution wanted to strike, and that would have been all the African American jurors that were available at the time. And the prosecution says they did not strike them on a racial basis, but on an occupational.
Wait, what?
In the strike zone, there were 3 black female jurors that the prosecution wanted to strike, and that would have been all the African American jurors that.
There was only 3. Wait.
Selection. The defense raised an objection to the prosecution's strikes.
The defense.
Yeah, majority white jury. All the men are white as well. So the reports were true. No African American people on this jury. I remember yesterday during jury selection, the defense raised an objection to the prosecution's strikes. In the strike zone, there were 3 black female jurors that the prosecution wanted to strike, and that would have been all the African American jurors that were available at the time. And the prosecution says they did not strike them on a racial basis, but on an occupational basis, because they were all educators, and they thought that would hold some sort of bias because all of this went down at a school. But the defense's objection was eventually denied by the judge, and the judge, granted the strikes on behalf of the prosecution. So,
oh, that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. Hold on. So what? Oh, child. So the prosecutor said we don't want these 3 because they go to school, because they're teachers. What the hell does that have to do with anything? And then the defense objected, which they should, and then the judge said overruled, I guess. And so the 3 get to go. Wow. That is suspect.
12 jurors, 6 alternates, so a total of 18, I guess I should say. But yeah, majority white jury. All the men are white as well. So the reports were true. No African American people on this jury. I remember yesterday during jury selection, the defense raised an objection to the prosecution's strikes. In the strike zone, there were 3 black female jurors that the prosecution wanted to.
I'm sorry. Hold on. So you got all male jurors are white, 3 Asian women, 1 Middle Eastern woman, and another woman. 3, 4, 5. So a total of 12, 5 are women who are the minorities. So then that's 7 that are white males. Whew, Lord, that don't sound good, child. Child, that don't sound good at all. Oh my goodness gracious. No, that's not good. No, that's not good. If you have nothing of substance to add, please leave. I'm sorry. Are you in the courtroom? Are you a prosecutor? Are you a police person? Because if not, don't say anything stupid. Because child, there's enough stupidity going on. We don't want stupid people here. Okay. So say something that makes sense, or don't say shit at all. But lest we not forget, also, the Cyrus case had various people on there. And that man got off. But y'all said that this one is charged correctly. The other one was not. So we shall see. To
the prosecution's strikes. In the strike zone, there were 3 black female jurors that the prosecution wanted to strike, and that would have been all the African American jurors that were available at the time. And the prosecution says they did not.
That were available at the time, because the rest of them, or not the rest of them, but several of them self-deleted basically themselves off of the damn trial. So lest we not forget that.
Strike them on a racial basis, but on an occupational basis, because they were all educators, and they thought that would hold some sort of bias because all of this went down at a school. But the defense is.
I would think it would be better to have some teachers in there because they know about what goes on in the daily inside of a school. That's what I would think. They know how kids are. They know how kids of today are, because the kids of today is not like the kids when we was going to school, Generation X. They are not the same. They really can't handle much. I was in a school where I got hit once, right? But the most outrageous thing that happened was 2 kids beat up a teacher, and they just physically beat him up, okay? They didn't bring a weapon. They didn't delete him. None of that. Most people that died when I was in school was because of, honestly, drunk driving. It's because of drunk driving. So it's not even necessarily somebody else's fault. But Kids of today, they just pulling out weapons and just taking people I'm up out of here, and everybody just trying to act like it's normal, child. Keep them people away from me.
His objection was eventually denied by the judge, and the judge, granted the strikes on behalf of the prosecution. So those are the only three available African-American jurors at the time, right before the jury got seated. That objection got denied about 15 minutes before it was seated yesterday. So majority white jury, 3 Asian women and 2 women of color, but no African-Americans at all.
And the judge saying that there were race-neutral reasons for the strikes of the African-Americans in that pool. Cody, Thomas, thank you for all of those details. I know you got to get back inside that courtroom and grab some lunch before you get back. So we will see you later on. There's no escaping how polarizing this trial is. Both Karmelo's mother and Austin Metcalf's father have spoken about the emotional toll here. And joining me now is someone who knows really better than anyone about a trial being this polarizing. He's an attorney who successfully defended George Zimmerman, who was accused of murdering Trayvon Martin. And that was a case that
I was about to say, who are these people? Was this televised? I guess I wasn't worried about it. Or it wasn't on YouTube. Child, did you not hear when I said no stupidity, child, and y'all just gonna continue to be stupid? All right. Anyway.
that had issues of race and self-defense defined that trial as well. We have with us Mark O'Mara. Mark, it is so good to have you on. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, Mark is white. That hair is white, Mark, child.
I think you're an important voice here because whether you see it this way or not, there are many people online, people who are reacting to this case, and it often seems this way whenever
you got something to say? Because you can get the fuck on out of here too. Child, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. I don't understand why y'all be someplace where you want to talk a bunch of bullshit and think that everybody gonna take your bullshit. Why are you fucking offended? It must be include you. If it's not you, then shut the fuck up. What is going on? Y'all are the people that are the problem. Yeah, y'all, and I'm talking about you. Y'all be the people that are the problem. Because y'all can't calm the fuck down because you're so emotional over some shit that ain't got shit to do with you at the end of the damn day. Carry your ass on down there and help them out. Shit. You so incensed by the shit. Lord have mercy. Y'all need to calm the fuck down. It's going to be what the fuck it's going to be. Okay? At the end of the fucking day, nigga, or wherever the fuck you are, I don't have shit to do with none of that. It's going to be about race because motherfuckers like the people outside are making it about race. That's what it is. So that's what it the fuck is. So you sitting up here making dumbass comments ain't helpful at all. If you ain't got something intelligent to share, scroll the fuck on. There you go. It's as simple as that. Child, people, this is why the kids can't control themselves, because you fucking alleged adults can't control yourselves. You ain't even got no fucking common sense. You're on sense by some shit that's on fucking TV. If you live there, go the fuck on down there then. Shit. Lord have mercy.
we have a case where two different parties are of different races. You have a self-defense allegation and one is unarmed, the victim. There's often a reference to the Trayvon Martin case, the George Zimmerman case. Sure. I want to ask your opinion. Do you see similarities?
So was George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin, that wasn't race-filled? That wasn't race-filled? It was absolutely race-filled. But now this case with Austin and Karmelo is not supposed to be about race. Okay. Child, y'all just be saying shit.
Here in this case.
Shout out to Switchblade. I see you.
Oh, no, there definitely are. It is undeniable. And we can't and really shouldn't even deny the harsh reality that race interposes itself on most criminal trials. It imposes itself on the criminal.
I guess there was no race involved over there with Cyrus and Mr. Chow, or Chow, whatever he is.
Criminal justice system as a whole. And it does so here in this case, only because they are of different races. Now, I'm not saying that Karmelo had any racial intent in his actions, but we as the observers, right, as the viewers of it, look at this and say, oh, obviously there's a racial component. There may have been nothing in either one of their minds the day that this happened, this tragedy occurred. But we look at it as lawyers.
But it's not about them. Of course, with them, it probably wasn't about race. It's all you motherfuckers on the outside that swear you know, specifically TikTokers, that saying, oh, he's not going to get a fair trial because he's black, or this, that, or the third. Well, maybe if y'all talk to your people, then they wouldn't have got here when they had the opportunity to be jurors and said, I can't send him to jail because he's black. I can't send him to jail because he's just a kid. And saying dumb shit like that. Dummies, now you can't be on damn trial. Now they done got an all-white jury. Black people already saying that it's cooked and it's racist. Forget all this stuff where all the other black people basically self-deleted. Now that it's this, now it's the issue. Back there with Chow, y'all wasn't saying all that. Y'all wasn't saying all that. Y'all just saying shit that come to your mouth.
And his commentators and say we have to be aware of it because we know, and I've argued for decades, that there's an undeniable bias existing in the criminal justice system against young black males. Used to be we could never even talk about it 20 years ago or so. Finally, we can talk about that undeniable bias, but it's there. And I would tell you, I'm very concerned that there is not an African-American on this panel, and more concerned that the state was able to cross out 3 African-American females that were opposed.
Maybe that'll get them to do a, what do you do? What do you do when it's over? An appeal. That could be a grounds for appeal for later if it is a guilty verdict.
So what we do call it.
If you can do that, listen. Just because it says Esquire, I don't know shit. I only play lawyer on YouTube. I don't know. Can you do that? Can you still appeal? And then you can say, oh, there were no black people on here. That's not a jury of my peers.
Batson strike because of a concern of a racial striking. And that's a problem for this trial, and we haven't even started yet.
Yeah, that's been concerning to a lot of people who are reacting to this. I'm curious what the breakdown was in that landmark trial that you successfully represented George Zimmerman, if you remember. Was it similar? There are other cases. The Ahmaud Arbery one stands out to me, where there was a question of that jury. There was only one African-American on that one down in Brunswick, Georgia. What do you think that has, if it has an impact at all on how the outcome may be in this case, and will they have a successful appeal if there's a conviction?
Well,
I guess that answers my question.
Again, my jury was 6 women, only one who was identified as maybe biracial, but no African Americans on my jury.
There were no African Americans on that jury for what is his name, Zimmerman?
I'm very concerned, as I mentioned a moment ago, about the fact that we now go into this trial.
Let me go back. Let me go back to what I said earlier with regard to being able to be a juror. First of all, you have to be registered to vote if you want to become a juror. You cannot wait until something happens and then complain that no black people were available. Okay? You're going to participate all the time, just not when you feel like it. So now you see where it could make a daggone difference. But every single time there's an election season, what do Democrats do? Because that's where most black voters are. Register to vote. You got to register to vote. You got to register to vote. Why do people need to tell y'all to register to vote? Why? It's automatic, as far as I'm concerned. It's like when you turn 16, you're looking forward to your driver's license. You should be registering to vote. Nope. You always got to be going around and getting all these people. And there's plenty of black people that are not registered to vote, y'all. Let's be honest, tell the truth, shame the devil. There are a lot of people of older ilk that have never registered to vote and don't participate. That is why they go hard every single time to grab those people and get them in there to be registered and to get them in there and to get them so that they can vote the way that they want to. I'm telling you. Blame your mom. It is what it is. Because lots of black people typically, don't take things seriously until they become serious. They do not take shit seriously until they become serious. And by then it's too fucking late. These are the things that people like Jamel with her blonde ass motherfucking hair and Rolly and the rest of them should be telling ya. That's the shit that they should be explaining y'all, not just saying you need to register to vote. You need to vote like a black woman, voting or vucking or whatever the other dumbass sayings that they said. How about that? Nope. Don't want to acknowledge that. Child, it's just white supremacy. Child, it's racism and white supremacy. Well, in essence, based off of y'all logic that you pull out of your ass, they're participating in white supremacy by not registering to vote and participating in the voting process so that when it comes time for trials like this, you then get picked to come for jury duty. I've been called to go to jury duty more times than I think should be fucking allowed, actually. Usually insurance cases. Thank God. But the point is that time off from work and I still get paid, but nobody feels like going to jury duty. I never feel like going, but I'm gonna go because it's my civic duty to do so. Lots of other people don't look at it that way. Look at it however the fuck you want. But let me tell you something. When you're not getting the makeup that you want all the damn time, you need to also take a look at how many people in that particular community have decided that it's not that damn important for them to even register, participate in the process, and then definitely go down there, keep your mouth fucking shut, answer the question that's asked of you, and then get your ass on a damn jury. You cannot wait until something happens and then say that you got something to say. But child, what the fuck do I know? And no, you can't vote if you are a felon. But I understand in some places and cases you can, you know, I don't know, expunge your record or something, child. I don't know, to be able to do all these other things. But that's another reason why it's important to make sure that you fucking just not follow, or I'm sorry, you following the fucking law. That's a thing too. That is a thing. Child, I swear to you, I'm telling you, my name is just sitting there to say, you know what? We'll just call Messy. Child, she ain't doing shit. It's crazy. The only good thing about going to jury duty, in my opinion, is that I still get paid. So I ain't got to work and I'm going to get paid. So I come down here and you can't take your phones in anymore. You can't do nothing but sit there and read. That's it. It makes for a long ass day.
With a racial component not only existing as it did before jury selection, but now I think exaggerated or exacerbated, because now 12 non-African Americans are going to decide this kid's fate. And just as we had to deal with in the Zimmerman case, you want to have something that people can place their trust in the verdict, whatever it is. And I was sort of hopeful in the Zimmerman case that since all the evidence came out, all the arguments came out, that it would at least be understood, but it was still difficult to trust. When you go into a case like this with the undeniable racial concern and do it with a jury that has no African Americans, not only do you build in an impossible appellate issue, but you really build in a social issue that how is the Black community going to look at this if he gets convicted and say this is a just verdict?
You know, we already know how that's going to go. Trust me, sir. We've been here, done that. Wash, rinse, repeat. So live now, actually, from Fox. This is from yesterday. Red Room trial resumes. New court sketches released. Oh, okay. Hopefully they sketching better than they did on Diddy's trial.
Live now from Fox, and we want to switch gears here and pivot to a case that has really grabbed the nation's attention here. I want to bring this post from Fox 4 News up on your screen here. This says opening statements began Thursday in the murder trial of Frisco ISD students Karmelo Anthony after a jury with no Black members was finalized following a contested selection process. So we want to bring you here what we know of the latest with this trial, as it will be going on to day 2 today, as opening statements began yesterday morning in the murder trial of the Frisco ISD student accused of fatally stabbing another student at a track meet. Karmelo Anthony, now 19 years old, faces a murder charge in the death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Police said Anthony and Metcalf got into an argument over seating in a stadium stands on April 2nd, 2025, which escalated when Anthony allegedly stabbed Metcalf in the chest with a pocket knife. The trial is expected to last approximately 2 weeks. If convicted, Anthony faces a maximum sentence of 5 to 99 years or life in a prison. Now, to talk more about this and to break down the latest of the case, we want to bring in Mark Astor, a criminal defense lawyer and former prosecutor, onto the program here. Mark, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So we heard opening statements yesterday. Anthony faces a murder charge and the defense is claiming self-defense. What evidence throughout this trial is going to be crucial, as we've already started to see some testimony yesterday from coaches? What evidence here is going to be crucial for the jury members?
Yeah, well, obviously, first and foremost, I think this is the only defense that, the defense has of self-defense. If you read the police report, it's right there in black and white. They're claiming self-defense. So obviously, the prosecutor is going to start bringing in eyewitnesses, people who saw this, people who saw the defendant flee from the scene. So we'll have some of the other students. We might have some of the teachers. We're certainly going to get the law enforcement officers who were on scene. The police report indicates that at least one of them had contact with the defendant. Another one also found the alleged motor weapon. So those are the kinds of things that are going to be brought out. Obviously, if there's some surveillance video, that's going to be coming in too. So that's the state's case. Civilians, law enforcement, any surveillance videos, and probably maybe even somebody from the medical examiner's office to talk about the actual cause of death.
And for a self-defense case, what needs to happen to be able to prove that for self-defense, especially when it escalates to a point where somebody died?
Well, I think from the defense perspective, they're going to have to establish that the force that was used was reasonable under the circumstances. And they're going to have to say, look, our client faced potentially a deadly force or even something where he could be subjected to, serious.
So what is the deadly force? So he said if it could be justified, like he's fighting for his life. I'm assuming that's kind of what he means. What was the deadly force? Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. What was the deadly force that Karmelo came into contact with in order to take him on up out of here? Self-defense. What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? A push? What was the self-defense from? A touch? Because what people need to understand, which they never do until it's too late, is that once you set this shit into motion, after this is over, it continues on and it affects everybody else. So if it's you touch me, I can delete you, and then you see that start happening again, don't forget that's what y'all wanted. Whoever, that's what y'all wanted. Because initially, people on TikTok who are nobodies are saying that it was all this bullying going on. Well, that's already out the window. Not that we didn't already know that. There wasn't no bullying going on. They was trying to say this was an ongoing issue between the brothers and Karmelo, which was not what happened. That's already been debunked, but they're still rolling with it. They're still over there rolling with it. So what is it that Austin did thus far that caused Karmelo? Lord have mercy. Yeah, y'all. Because this is the first time I've ever heard that. Anyway, so what is it that Austin did? Because what's his name? His brother was over there on his phone, typical. On his phone. So it wasn't enough for him to get up off of his phone. Whatever was going on wasn't enough for him to get up off of the damn phone. Then whatever happened, this happens. What was it? I haven't heard it. They were bullying through telepathy. Yeah. Suck my dick if I had one. How about that? Okay. Because y'all want my attention today. Y'all want my attention today. You got it. May I have mixed family members that I love? All I'm saying is less in this racist mess. All white jury is not called for. It's not. It don't look good. That's for daggone sure. I agree. But it could be a reason for I'm not sure if it would be a mistrial appeal for sure, but a mistrial maybe. I don't know. Big boy, shut up. I don't give a fuck. You being here. I'm not your lady, so why do you give a fuck, nigga? I don't give a fuck what you think. Like, what are you talking about? You think I give a fuck about you? A person who's been here for the first time being a dick? Suck my dick. I said that. I don't give a fuck. I'm not fucking you. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I promise you I don't give a fuck. Lord have mercy. Y'all really can't control yourselves. You really cannot control yourselves. Just act like a jackass no matter where you go. You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that. This definitely needs to be handled the right way. They always make these man-made laws, but don't go by them. This could set a precedence, you know what I'm saying? Depending on how it happens. So for some people that want it to turn out some way, remember, it will be going forward thereafter. But a lot of people don't think about that. But anyway, come on, Cha.
Bodily injury. So he had no choice. He was outnumbered. The victim was larger than him. There were lots of people in the room, and he felt as if he had no choice but to use deadly force in order to protect himself.
So they said that Austin is bigger than Karmelo. He's bigger.
The problem with that is that the defendant actually, he went into the area where the victim was to be found. He allegedly had that knife with him when he went in. He dared the victim to touch him, to push him.
How is that self-defense if you dare? How is it self-defense if you dare? That's a good question.
And the argument's going to be from the prosecutor's side is that he provoked it. He went in there looking for a fight. He dared the victim to do this, and he did. And he was ready and prepared for this. He took a knife to a fist fight. That's not a fair fight. And you can't provoke a situation and then say, oh, not my fault. I was acting in self-defense.
Yeah. Can't provoke something and then say it's self-defense. That is true. That is true. Whether people want to recognize it or not. Anybody can carry a knife. All right, fine. Y'all argued that yesterday. I concede to that. Because y'all said a pocket knife. You can have a pocket knife in Texas, I think. So that's fine. Y'all got that one. But how do you antagonize and then say that it's self-defense if you were antagonized? I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions. If somebody can explain that. Shout out to Dakota's Jenkins. Thank you, hon. If it was self-defense for Zimmerman and Daniel Penny, it's self-defense for Karmelo unless proven otherwise. The law can't be different for Karmelo. I think that each state, it can be different. In each state, it absolutely can be different. So that's kind of not true. That's kind of not true. Because I'm telling you, the laws in freaking California are not the same as they are in Texas, because they crazy out there. So you all can try to put all this stuff together if you want to. You can't. It's all different states, and all different states have different laws. So good try, though. Good try. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Everybody hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
And that's the dichotomy the jury's going to have to unpack in this case.
And then I also wanted to touch on the location of this as well, and where this happened, as there is, we've heard from some testimony yesterday about what this revolves around in this tent there at this track meet. So we heard from the Memorial High School coach, Robert Starr, who took the stand, and he explained to jurors that a tent at a track competition typically, quote, marks your spot. He said it's similar to team bench for sports.
Which we talked about yesterday. Shout out to those that have done track before. That's what that means. You ain't supposed to be, like, imagine, like NBA Finals is going on right now. So you got Spurs over here, you got Knicks over here. Imagine the Knicks player coming and just sitting down on the bench of the Spurs. How y'all think that's about to, goodbye. How y'all think that's about to go? How do y'all think that that's going to go? It's not. It's not. I'm just saying. Up in here. I see Boo. He said, correction message. You can vote in 46. Hold on. You can vote in 46 states upon. Thank you, Tadisha, for the jewels. I appreciate you, Boo. You can vote in 46 states upon completion of your sentence. Only Florida, Kentucky, Virginia, Iowa are the only 4 that ban felon voting. The felons can't vote is a common misconception. Well, shout out to Laren. We be Laren around here. Is it completion of your sentence or completion of your probation as such as well? Because, you know, probation typically comes up afterwards. But that's good to know. I didn't know. There you go. Anyway, come on, child.
So what this case involves escalating from a seat dispute that we're getting from a Fox 4 report, how could we see testimony from coaches and other athletes really affect this case? And when it comes to something like where this happened, especially when they're saying with this tent, that kind of almost in some way marks a territory?
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, we have two high schools that are potential rivals, and you've got the defendants going into the victim space. That tent area it's almost like it's a little bit of a house, right? You know, this is our home. You don't come into our home. And if you do, we have a right to protect that space. And according to the police report, the victim in the case said, hey, you shouldn't be here. You need to leave, right? This is our space. Go to yours. And that's when, you know, this incident started to escalate because the defendant didn't want to leave.
And now jurors were also shown grainy surveillance video of what happened. It's from a camera across the field. It says software allows the shots to be zoomed in, but it becomes grainy. So the video shows a person who the state said is Anthony entering the tent from behind. And also saying a few minutes later, there are quick movements. Prosecutors said that was Metcalf pushing Anthony, trying to get him out of the tent. A few seconds later, Anthony exits the tent. This is according to Fox 4 Dallas reporting. So when we talk about the surveillance video, how crucial is that going to be? And especially when they're talking about grainy surveillance video, how can the jurors take that in, especially if the video is grainy and it could maybe be hard to identify certain people there?
Yeah, so look, obviously a picture tells 1,000 words, but at the end of the day, the defense isn't arguing you got the wrong person. So does the video really matter that much? Are they going to say, well, this isn't our guy. You can't tell us that this is our client. Look at the grainy quality of the video. I don't think they'll make that argument because it doesn't make sense. Either he acted in self-defense, which means they're not denying that he stabbed the victim, or they're going to say, you got the wrong guy. You arrested the wrong person. That's not their defense. So I don't think the quality of the video is really going to make that big of a difference, to be quite honest with you. It helps, you know, it helps the prosecution, but is it really the case that we're arguing about? I mean, no one's denying that this happened. It's just, are we going to legally excuse it with the self-defense defense?
Well, that is true. It's not like you can deny that it happened. It actually happened, right? Sorry. People tend to get more brazen when they have a weapon. That is true, right? That is absolutely true. But
it's to the tip.
What was the reason? But like I said, with the NBA Finals as an example, y'all know that's not gonna fly. Y'all know that's not gonna fly in any place. I'm just saying. Thank you, Boo. He says Karmelo is cooked. If not for what? If not for him going there, he wouldn't be on trial. I think he may have been competing later. Like initially it was like, oh no, he's not competing, and he wasn't like dressed for competition or whatever, but I think he may have been later. So maybe he was supposed to be there. Maybe. I don't know. Shout out to homie ALG up in here. I see you. Shout out to all of y'all. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Be mindful of these rules. Be mindful of these chat rules. The mods will take care of you.
And legal experts have been commenting and with Fox 4, our affiliate over in Dallas, saying the prosecution had a strong start yesterday. When looking at criminal cases like this, is that typical for a prosecution to really come out swinging at first and then the defense really plays their part later on in the trial? How does the structure really work when it comes to criminal cases here like this?
Yeah, so part of the jury selection process is going to be, especially from the defense perspective, is to make sure that we exclude any jurors who don't believe in the presumption of innocence. But the fact, when I did defense work, when you've got a client who's sitting there, the jurors are saying to themselves, hold on a second, he must have done something, otherwise he wouldn't have been arrested. We wouldn't be here. So, as a defense lawyer, you're already behind the eight ball, even with the constitutional presumption of innocence. And so, as a defense lawyer, you kind of have to overcome that. So that's a problem for the defense. And honestly, I think the prosecution has a great case here. They really do.
Uh-oh. Now, I don't know where Mark is from. Sounds like he might be a bit of a tether. He says that the prosecution has a good case. And y'all said that they charged properly. We'll see.
And then I wanted to talk about that jury selection as well, as there's been some controversy about that as well, as there being no black jury members on this trial. So can you explain to me the controversy behind that and how important jury selection is to a case? Can it really define its outcome here?
Yeah, jury selection is everything. If you can get the right jurors for your, who are hopefully going to see the case your way as a prosecutor, you're golden. But don't forget, you need 12 people on that jury who are going to find that you met your burden of proof. As the defense, I only need one person to say, hold on a second, this was a self-defense case, and my client potentially gets an acquittal. So there's the dichotomy in the jury selection. Now, the jury is supposed to reflect the community. It's supposed to be a jury of the defendant's peers. And I think from the defense perspective, they potentially have a get out of jail free card here. And as a prosecutor, as a former prosecutor, I cannot believe the prosecution actually made this mistake to exclude all of the African-American jurors, knowing you had an African-American defendant.
Look at that. So we could be right. It could be cause for, I don't know if it maybe would be a mistrial or something, but just got rid of all the blicks, the last three. It's okay. Oh, okay. That sounds crazy to me. I'm just saying. Thank you, boo. He says, Michonne, if that ninja didn't take his ass to that tent, he wouldn't be on trial. Sorry, all caps, I'm driving. No. I agree with that part. I agree. Maybe somebody will explain, if it's normal and typical for him to be having a knife on him. Is it just what he does? Is there a reason? You know what I mean? People never want to talk about stuff like that. Just like with Cyrus, where he had a weapon on him, but no one wants to talk about that. Karmelo had a weapon on him, but we're supposed to ignore that and not talk about it. I'm just wondering if anybody can ever give any reasons as to why. These are still minors at the end of the day. Karmelo might not be a minor now, but he was a minor then. Let's keep that in mind as well. And these minors is running around here with weapons. We just allow this now. This is an okay thing. And we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to let all that go. We're not going to be talking about this is not what we need to be doing. Maybe he was in a woodshop class that we just not aware of. And he had it for that reason. So I'm not disagreeing, RBN. I hear you. Thank you so much, boo. I see you. I appreciate you.
Knowing that you had a bunch of people outside the courthouse who feel that they're not, that their community, the African-American community, is not going to get a fair trial, I think is a big mistake. You got to remember, as a prosecutor, you're not there just to convict. Your job is to make sure that the defendant gets a fair trial. And I honestly think if there's a conviction here, I think the appellate court is going to take a very hard look at this and potentially reverse this. This is a serious mistake.
Listen to that. Now, are certain people listening to this so that, God forbid, if he goes ahead and gets convicted, they'll be wilding out, destroying shit, carrying on, and cause so much more of a ruckus. And this dude is saying that there's an opportunity, like I had asked, since there's absolutely no black people on the jury, what if it was a tactic? You never know with lawyers. We be doing shit, okay? You never know. Interesting.
By the prosecution, and jury selection is one of the ways that an appellate court will reverse a conviction. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But if I was a prosecutor, I would never have done this. It's a mistake, and I think this is going to come back and haunt them.
And that you actually took the next question right from me. If we could see an appeal from this because he doesn't feel that he is represented by his peers.
Yeah, I mean, how can he? I mean, he's an African.
Well, he can't have like teenagers on here. So the only other thing that he can have are males and then black people because he's a male and he's black. and then there's no black and 9 whites, if I'm not mistaken, whatever the number was.
American young man in an African-American community, and he has no African-American jurors to decide his fate. How can that possibly be fair?
Wait, Frisco is the African-American community, y'all? Bueller? That's what he just said. Juan Solo. Thank you, Boo. He said if they didn't tell him to move and instead told a teacher, I did think about that, then the white guy who hunted and listened to rap music would be alive, and it wasn't a knife. I thought about that. I didn't bring it up yet, but I did think about it. I'm like, well, I guess they don't go tell teachers anymore. But you know, these kids today, they handle everything themselves because, you know, people give them lateral range to do whatever the hell it is that they want to. Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate you. It's not an African-American community. Okay. All right. Well, this Tether got that wrong then. I didn't think it was, but that's what he just said.
Now, to the prosecution's point, I'm sure when the judge said, why are you striking this person? I think what they said was, we don't want any teachers on the panel, right? And when you do that once, okay, sounds okay. When you do it twice, maybe. But you start doing it 3 times and 4 times, you're like, hold on a second, there's a pattern here. And it's the pattern of striking those African-American jurors that I think is going to come back and bite the prosecution, you know, in the proverbial backside. I really do. And I think the appellate court's going to find a problem with this.
And there was, I'm reading some of these other articles when it comes to these jury selection and how this was done throughout this case, as well as says, this is according to TMZ, saying one potential juror reportedly said, I don't think I can make a decision about somebody so young. One mistake, one argument, one conflict. You can't say he's a bad person, end quote. Another prospective juror raised eyebrows.
Did you hear that? What kind of thing is that to say? Hold on.
According to TMZ, saying one potential juror reportedly said, I don't think I can make a decision about somebody so young.
I don't think I can make a decision on someone so young. That's most of the criminals now. What kind of shit is that?
One mistake, one argument, one conflict. You can't.
One mistake, one argument, one conflict. How many does it take? Bueller, how many does it take? I got a question. How many times does it take for someone to harm someone else before it's considered a problem and they should be held accountable? Bueller? It only takes one time. How many times have we heard that? It only takes one pregnancy. It only takes one sperm. It only takes one sperm. So how many times do we have to wait? Wait till next time? Wait till when? Time 15? This is just as dumb as Jasmine, what's her name, saying, you're not a criminal unless you think you're a criminal. Well, child, with reasoning like that, that's crazy.
Can't say he's a bad person, end quote. Another prospective juror raised eyebrows after admitting, quote, I don't know if I feel right putting a brother in jail.
I don't know if I feel right putting a brother in jail. These are the blacks that basically self-deleted themselves from being jurors on this case. I don't think I could put our brother in jail. Why? You're supposed to be listening to evidence. Thank you, Nichelle, for the jewels. I appreciate you. You're supposed to be listening to evidence.
End quote, when asked about finding a black defendant guilty of murder. This is coming from a report from TMZ. So what are the challenges here when it does come to the prosecution, when it does come to, what are those questions that they're asking potential jurors and making sure that it is a jury selected, that the defendant does feel represented by their peers?
Well, I think from the prosecution's perspective, they're going to ask those questions. How do you feel about the fact that, you know, this young man is African-American? How do you feel about the fact he's so young and potentially has his whole life in front of him? If we prove our case, are you going to be able to vote to convict him? And so that's part of the prosecution's, you know, responsibility. But you got to remember, when it comes to jury selection, it's not really jury selection, it's jury elimination. We're not picking jurors, we're just getting rid of the ones that we think aren't going to vote for us. And so that's what's happening. They're just striking these jurors one after the other. And whoever's left, that's your jury. So they're just really trying to make sure to nitpick with these potential jurors that, you know, from the state perspective, are they going to vote for us? Are they going to help us to win the case? And obviously from the defense perspective, they're going to say, hold on a second.
Which is what lawyers are supposed to do.
You know, how can you possibly say that you can be fair if nobody on the panel reflects the skin color of our client or even the community for that fact? So, I mean, there's a real problem here.
And I do want to bring in this post here coming from the New York Post. It says jury selection in Karmelo Anthony murder case delivers major blow to defense as trial begins. So we're reading here that the New York Post says it's a major blow to the defense. But just like what we were saying in our conversation, this could actually work against the prosecution.
I agree with the dude talking about the prosecution, depending on how it turns out. How do you sat there, you got rid of 3 women, and then he had no blacks on there. I think that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think it's a get out of jail free card. And look, it wasn't that long ago that we were electing and re-electing an African American president. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility that this jury could vote to acquit this defendant. But if they don't, I think the appellate court's going to say there's a problem here. And you know, there's two areas that are very susceptible to reversal. One is jury selection, and the other one is the jury instructions. Obviously, we haven't gotten to the jury instructions.
Karmelo had a football scholarship and 2 good parents. Just because Negroes love white folks doesn't mean Karmelo's a criminal. Wow, y'all. Wow. Shout out to you, Colors. Shout out to you, Colors. I tell you, y'all, this is the reason why all of the crime that happens every day and every weekend, specifically on holidays, amongst the colored community is excused and not talked about because of people like James. Because that sounds stupid. It's got nothing. Your bias is showing, sir. It's got nothing to do with loving white folks. It's got to do with he took someone out. That's it. Like, what more is there? Then what else is there? So you got good parents. You okay? Child, you live in a nice neighborhood. You all right? Forget the fact that there's a deceased body over there. You should just, child, let him out and let him go home, child. Just let him go home and forget all this. Just let him forget all this. Oh yeah, thank you, Ebony. And got a scholarship. Got a scholarship, child. Yeah. Got a scholarship. Duh. Send him home. Go home, child. Shut this shit down now. Just shut all this shit down. Send him home. Sounds like Jasmine Crockett. If you don't think you're a criminal, then you're not a criminal. And of course, bringing white people into it, which has absolutely nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter if you have two parents at home and a scholarship and a 4.5. You shouldn't be taking people up on out of here. And I promise you, if it was somebody in your family, God forbid, your thought process would be completely different. Why is it that colors always got to have something happen to them in order to understand? You cannot even be non-biased about shit. That's the problem, and why the community remains where the community is. It's never going to flourish. It's never going to move forward because of shit like this. As long as everything looks good, he should be able to go home. All right, cool. Y'all continue to think that. Stay your ass over there, child. Stay your asses over there. Anyway, come on, child.
Just yet. We will do at the end of the case. But right out of the gate, I think the prosecution has made a fundamental error by not protecting the record and making sure that this young man got a fair jury and a jury of his peers. This is a mistake by the prosecution. I'm frankly shocked that an experienced prosecutor would do this, but here we are. So we'll have to see how this plays out.
And then I wanted to bring in this next one here from the New York Post saying, coach of Karmelo Anthony's teen victim sobs as he recalls chaos after fatal track meet stabbing. Also, yesterday we heard the 911 call as well. What are you going to be out on the lookout here for when we can expect to hear later on today as trial is set to begin here in just a few hours from now?
Yeah, I'm sure the prosecutor's going to start bringing in their witnesses. Typically, when I was prosecuting cases, I would bring in my law enforcement officers first, let them set the scene. We want to establish, what they saw when they first came on scene. We want the officer who came into contact with the defendant to talk about what he saw and what he heard, because according to the police report, there were some admissions made by this defendant. So he talked about that. He admitted the fact that, this is a self-defense case, and that might actually help the defense because they may not need to put their client on to testify because their defense is in the police report. So they'll bring in their officers, they'll testify about what they saw, what the defendant allegedly said. Obviously, we want to establish a chain of custody with the knife, and they're going to want to bring that in and show the jury because, I know when I prosecuted a case where there was a knife attack, the one piece of evidence that was really important to my case was the knife. And when the jury saw that knife, they said, okay, we get it. All right, this is a murder case. And it really brings it in. So they'll bring in the knife. There'll probably be a ton of crime scene photographs, because jurors can use their imagination. But again, a photograph is worth 1,000 words. And you start laying out all those photographs, the blood scene, the chaos that was going on. And they're going to bring all of that in. And then they'll bring in their civilian witnesses to talk about what they saw, what they witnessed, really to corroborate what law enforcement has already established. So that's what I expect to happen over the next couple of days.
All right. Thank you, Mark Astor, wherever the hell he comes from. Let me go over to, now that we looked at the news, some of the locals, not locals, but people who are talking about this and reporting back to see what they have to say. Shout out to Neek at Night. Let me, StreamYard is StreamYard, and give me a second. Hit the like button if you have not. Subscribe if you are normal. Let me say that. If you are not normal, please do not subscribe. I'm okay with that. So, Neek, this is just a 16-minute video. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It says, I'm in the courtroom and just saw the surveillance video. This is from yesterday. Shout out to Neek at Night if you know or you know.
I was able to see Karmelo Anthony enter into the stadium. It showed the victim and his brother enter into the stadium. It showed the tent that they were under and so much more. They also did opening statements before we started to see any type of footage or anything like that. Opening statements was 20 minutes for each side. The defense took 20 minutes. The prosecution took 20 minutes. And when they gave their opening statements, there was a stark contrast on both sides. So first and foremost, the defense went up and his the prosecution went up first, and his co-counsel did the opening statements where he painted Karmelo Anthony as a senseless murderer. You know, he said that Karmelo Anthony provoked the victim into putting his hands on him. So he's saying that, you know, the victim in a case, he provoked him because he didn't leave when they told him to. So basically they told him to leave and he didn't leave, and he told him that they better not touch him or whatever, or watch what happens if you touch me. That's provoking them to put their hands on him. So then once they put the hands on him, then he, you know, used his weapon. He grabbed in his bag, used his weapon, and the whole incident happened in a matter of 4 minutes. So the victim and his brother entered into the tent 2 minutes prior to Karmelo Anthony entering in the tent. The defense said that he didn't enter the tent because he wasn't supposed to be there, as far as like the way that they're trying to shape it, but he entered into the tent because he recognized one of his friends. He went to say hello to one of his friends and he went to go sit down. As soon as he went to go sit down, it is being alleged that the twins came up to him and told him, you got to go, you got to get up out of here. And he told them, no, he's not leaving. He's not getting up out of there at all. Now, that's what's happening on the inside of the courtroom. You got.
Child, I don't know. I don't know.
You guys know I took a lot of notes.
I mean, we know what we heard to happen. That's why you gotta freaking suss through it. So he did come to see a friend. He noticed somebody over there, and then it started to be a "you can't be here" type of thing, and then it turned into the STABBing, child. Lord.
I'm going to be giving you guys a very detailed breakdown. I tried to jot down as much as I can as far as what the prosecution and defense are saying and alleging. We're going to give the facts. Now, outside, there is protest on both sides happening right now. There are people here that are supporting Karmelo Anthony. And then there are people who don't appear to be a part of Austin's family, but rather serving a white supremacist agenda and trying to basically put fear in Black people. So you see.
Girl, what? Hold on. How do we get the white supremacy? What?
And then there are people who don't appear to be. There are the facts. Now, outside, there is protest on both sides happening right now. There are people here that are supporting Karmelo Anthony. And then there are people who don't appear to be a part of Austin's family, but rather serving a white supremacist agenda.
Oh my God. I am about to shut this shit down. What the fuck? When are we talking about a white supremacist agenda? Well, there's people over here supporting Karmelo Anthony, and then there's a white supremacist agenda. So they can be here to support him, but these people can't be. Oh my God. Duh. This is the part that pisses me off, child. This is why you can't listen to everybody. That's all people do is fucking protest. I'm going to go protest. I'm going to go protest. I'm going to go support this one. I'm going to go support that one. Now, because white people are doing it, it's white supremacy. But Black people can do it because they're supporting Karmelo Anthony. Girl.
And trying to basically put fear in Black people. So you see them kind of.
Now they're out here trying to put. Oh my. Now they're out here trying to put fear into Black people. So are the Black people trying to put fear into white people because they're out here? That's not what I'm hearing. Exactly, News Ticks. They're not going to say that. That's not a thing. That's a white supremacist talking point. This is so dumb. This is so stupid.
Like trying to Black, like, you know, looking all of us up and down, mad dogging us, trying to make their presence known. One guy's walking around.
If you see them, their presence is known. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I can't. Exactly, Nicole. They're going to bring up some racism, child. White people, no matter what it is, they always racist. And then colors that's listening to me saying, you're sounding white supremacist, you don't like your own people. Because colors don't know what being fair is. They don't know it. They don't understand it at all. Like whoever said the other day, forever victimhood mentality. I know you don't like to hear, but that's exactly what that is. So you can be here, they can't be here. Besides, this case is a big ass case. You think there wasn't going to be anybody that supports that dude or that family?
Thanks for the tip.
So the only people that's allowed to be here are these people. Chud the builder dude, they over there giving Flacco a run for his damn money. only because he's on YouTube. It's crazy. It's crazy. They are crazy. That whole thing with his ass is crazy. But are people going to act like, especially when black people talk about white people being racist all the time, not a surprise that they showed the fuck up. So how about we don't give them any attention? But we know that that's not the case because there's plenty here today trolling and they can't control themselves. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that can't control themselves. I'm just saying. Man, bear, bull, shark. Man, bear, bull, shark. All right. Recreation. Thank you. Recreational outrage is the new crack. Exactly. It's crazy. And believe in it. And believe in it. You don't have to listen to me because until you get the NAACP to change it, you can fuck off and suck my dick too, child. Go play with somebody else. Go play these stupid ass games. It's another victim. Oh my God, she said colored. She said colored and my feelings are hurt. How dare you use the word colored? Shout out to the National Advancement Association of Colored People who are around here encouraging white people and encouraging black people to vote for white people. But me saying colored is the issue. Child, if you don't go to California and talk to them about the ebony alerts and suck my dick, clearly that's what I'm going to be saying all day today. Clearly that's what I'm going to be saying all day today because y'all don't know how to act. Because you're a piss poor excuse for a motherfucker because you mad and hurt over some shit that ain't got shit to do with you. Your mom is ignorant. How about that? Suck my dick, okay? And take your colored ass on and go cry in the soup. I see you still here though, you bitch ass. I'm telling you. And you can go too, motherfucker. You can go too. Y'all sitting up here. You've been here the whole time. Now all of a sudden you want to troll too? You don't think I don't see you? Go ahead. Go ahead. All views matter and all comments matter. And that puts it in the algorithm and gets me paid. So while you over here talking shit, you in here with your emotional ass selves sounding stupid as usual, bitching out. Bitching out because you're a bitch. Bitches be bitching, yeah. Bitches be bitching. Mad at me at a place where they can freely leave, but they still here. Freely scroll the fuck up, but they still here. How about that? I tell you. And this is why shit like this will continue to happen because coloreds don't know how to do shit for their own fucking good while listening to motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about them and get you all riled up and you ain't gonna sit up here and try to figure out a way to make shit better for you and your fucking community but keep saying that it's white people's fault all damn time. So black people can be here to support Karmelo, but it's weird to think that white people were here to support Austin Metcalf's family. Anybody that thinks that that's weird, you need to go on, preferably to hell, but definitely the fuck up on out of here. Because that sounds stupid. That's your stupid bias right there. You are not special in your mind. There's something wrong with you. There's too many people that's not using this thing in between their head. You can sit up here. You can say that I don't know what I'm talking about. You can call me a white supremacist. You can do all that. It don't change the fact that you sound crazy thinking that one side can have support and the other side can't, regardless of how you feel. Take your victim mentality on somewhere because we don't play those games around here. I'll let Nick finish.
With a Confederate flag. And it's like intimidation tactics that's trying to happen. I'm going to pan the camera so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So I don't have much time before it's time to go back in, but I just kind of want to try to see the atmosphere that's going on outside and all the people. You said I'm breaking up?
It's shaky. Very shaky.
So he's been walking around with his flag all around.
Man can't walk around with his flag all around. These people right here, these colors is right here with him. That other black dude is right there with him. They don't seem like they got an issue. These are the only people that are allowed to be here, y'all, by ridiculous ass people in the chat today. These are the only people that are allowed to be out here. No one can support the other side. Just Karmelo.
Right, and then this guy right here, he was with the girl Sarah that was like trying to talk a lot of mess. So there's one female that's trying to like rage bait and make this a racial thing. That guy right there is with her. He was mad dogging me too, trying to look me up and down. But I'm gonna get back over to the court side. Here is the officers across the street. All of the sheriffs have been nice, actually. Like they—
Oh, imagine that. Oh my God, the sheriffs are nice. What? Oh my God. How can't even believe she said that?
They have been completely nice. This is what it looks like across the street. And then this is what it looks like on this side over here.
Honestly, from what she's showing, it don't even look like it's a lot of freaking, it don't even look like it's a lot. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. It doesn't even look like it's a lot of white people out here. It looks like it's a lot of black people out here. What is she talking about?
I think this is no type of fight. And then there's news media all around. So you said watch my back. Clearly. Yeah, these people right.
Watch her back. Why? So what, is somebody gonna do something to her with all these policemen sitting out here and all these witnesses and all these cameras? Goodbye.
Right here, child. They all got on body cam footage. Yeah, I'm being careful. So I'm walking back down away from
all right, child. Walk on back down, child. This sounds crazy. And enough of y'all sound crazy too. This is weird. Anybody, oh my God, StreamYard. Anybody can support whoever the fuck they want to. Y'all out here acting stupid, like stupid ass people didn't support all these freaking serial killers and whatnot. There's people that are supporting Luigi Mangione, who we see on camera took that damn man out from the medical place, child. So miss me with your stupid ass fake outrage. This is Kingdom React. Shout out to him. And he is not there, but I wanted to go over him real quick and then go to BCP. He says Black Americans react to Carmelo Anthony supporters losing their minds.
Everybody keeps talking about everything around it. The race, protests, the jury, the hashtags, social media teams, the activists, everything except the reason why everybody knows the name of Austin Metcalf in the first place. And the more this trial moves forward, the more it feels like people are telling on themselves without realizing they're doing it. Watch this.
White people, Asian people, Spanish people, Latina, whatever you call it, Indians. I just feel like I have to reassure you, you are not crazy. Black people have completely lost the plot ever since we let this nigga Democrat Barack Obama in the White House.
Oh no, how Barack taking strays? What the hell he got to do with, oh, come on. What do he got to do with it? Y'all.
Black people want to live in a world where they can do as they please without consequence. That's
oh yeah, that is true.
Not gonna happen. You are gonna have to face the consequences if you do the crime. This kid stabbed someone's child at a school event and murdered him in cold blood. And you're not getting the picture. This is an open shut case. There's nothing to talk.
Yeah, I don't know if it's all that, but go on, child.
Talk about. If somebody did that to your son, forget jail. You'd want him dead.
People have to feel fire in order to know that fire is hot.
What don't you understand here? What is wrong with you? You can't murder people and come home and play PS5.
That's not true, because Chow certainly did. Chow is home.
Oh, but he was scared. He was nervous. Oh, I hope he's scared of the niggas he's about to have to deal with in jail. You all should be afraid to go to jail. Before you do stupid shit, you should think twice. He didn't. Now you got to suffer the consequences.
We know he did it. The question is, was it justified or not? That's what the question is.
Blacks, you either fight like a man or you run like a bitch, but you don't stab somebody's son.
Now, that clip matters because it cuts through something that's become incredibly common. Some people don't start with the facts anymore. You know, they start with the conclusion.
Definitely not. They sitting over here talking about, oh, the video was edited. What? Were you in court? Did they say that? Everybody, even when you're getting the stuff from the damn court, you still don't believe it. So then what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh no, I'm a coon. Shout out to the colors. I'm a coon today because I'm not saying free Karmelo Anthony. Oh, y'all go talk about all them people that got deleted last night in Chicago. Then get back to me.
Conclusion that they want. Then they work backwards until they find an argument that fits. That's why every story today has become a backup story. If one explanation falls apart, another one is already warming up, in the bullpen. The question isn't whether people agree. The question is why so many people seem emotionally invested in one outcome before the trial is even over. Because when that happens, facts stop becoming information. They become obstacles.
He's absolutely right. That's why dumbasses in the chat today are saying all this stuff and getting themselves all just acting stupid. Even with the real stuff coming out finally, they still is like, oh, it's a doctor. It's a lie. That's not true. It's self-defense. Go do this. Go do that. No, you go do it, Chan. No, you go do it. Shout out to Uncle Rick in the building. Hey, boo. He said, but they wanted the chain to do the time. What's so different if both felt they was in danger? What's a reasonable response? They're not going to look at it like that, child. Come on, Uncle Rick. Come on, Uncle Rick. You already know. Rules for thee and not for me. That's why I was saying, so with Carson, I think his name is Carson, Kaysen, the dude got off, and I think he had a multiracial court or jury or whatever. So this one, is different. You wanted this one to be held accountable for what he did to Carson. He wasn't. You don't want this one to be held accountable for what he did to Austin. But people want to act like race is not a part of this? Okay.
And speaking of obstacles, I want you to watch what happens when somebody tries to defend the situation.
He was not an aggressor. Karmelo was not an aggressor. He was minding his damn business when the boys came up together.
I love how people who weren't there know so much and they're standing on business. He was not the aggressor. Girl, where do you even live? You were not even there. None of these people. Wait, I thought Neek said that this dude was. Hold on. I thought Neek said that this dude was the Confederate flag holder and he was being racist. Ain't that what she said just a second ago about this dude with the flag? He over here with the colors. Goodbye. Child, you got to be careful where you get your information from, y'all. That's why we're looking at everything to try to figure it out.
He was not an aggressor.
Here's what caught my attention. Not the volume, not the yelling, not even the argument, the certainty, right? We're living through an era where confidence gets mistaken for evidence. If somebody says something loud enough, passionate enough, angry enough, people assume it must be true. Meanwhile, the actual details become optional, rather. That's one of the strangest things about modern politics and culture. The emotion is treated like proof.
Right.
And if you question it, somehow you're the unreasonable one. Now, zoom out. Because outside of the courthouse, things got even more, let's say, revealing.
McKinney, Texas, with the latest. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, John. Well, the jury just returned from a lunch break. There are cameras not allowed inside the courthouse. But if you look behind me, check out what's happening outside the courtroom here. You have protesters on both sides. They've been arguing with each other, antagonizing each other. We have the sheriff's office here, making sure that things don't get out of control. This case, it has sparked some strong emotions. Karmelo Anthony's defense today arguing this is a case of self-defense. Prosecutors, on the other hand, calling it a, quote, provoked, unjustified murder. 17-year-old football star Austin Metcalf was stabbed during a high school track meet back in April of 2025. Police say the confrontation started when Metcalf told Anthony he wasn't supposed to be in his team's tent. Investigators say it quickly escalated, ending when Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest. Anthony has pleaded not guilty to murder. Race, though, as you mentioned, it's become a major issue surrounding this case. Supporters raising hundreds of thousands of dollars online for the teen charged with murder.
We came by plane, by bus, by cars. We traveled.
But today in court, prosecutors said this is not a case of race or self-defense. They said that Metcalf was unarmed and argued that Anthony provoked this fight and pulled out a hidden knife. Metcalf's twin brother and mom previously spoke to Fox.
He always was one to step up and be the person that would do the right thing. And he was doing the right thing by saying to this gentleman that you're not supposed to be in this tent. This is because they have personal items there.
And John, back out here live, we're going to keep an eye on what's happening between these protesters and supporters on both sides. Inside the courtroom, I'm told that they're starting to hear witness testimony, including some surveillance footage.
All right, we look forward to an update. Brooke Taylor for us in Texas. Brooke, thanks.
This is where the story starts becoming bigger than the trial. Look at everybody involved. Everybody claims they're there for justice, but half the crowd looks like they're auditioning for attention, if you ask me. Social media has created a weird incentive structure. The louder the conflicts get, the more valuable they become. The camera shows up and suddenly everybody discovers they have a speech prepared. That's why more of these scenes feel less like a search for truth and more like a competing press conference, or like feel more like competing press conferences happening in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Then came the jury conversation. And this part exposed something that doesn't feel, I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough.
More than 500 people were on the list of potential jurors, but the jury will not include anyone who is black, despite this case being racially charged. Fox 4's Alex Boyer joining us now. Alex.
Hey guys, good evening. That's right. And I can tell you that a court spokesperson confirmed that there are indeed no black jurors on this panel. And I can tell you that before this jury panel was seated, the defense objected to 3 black women being struck by the prosecution.
Hold on.
Tell you that before this jury panel was seated, the defense objected to 3 black women being struck by the prosecution. Now, the prosecution contended that it was
okay. This is what we heard.
Due to the fact that the women were educators, noting that this incident happened at a school function with young students. The defense then pointed out that those were 3 of those were 100% of the available black jurors in what's called the strike zone, adding that the state struck all 3. The judge went out and reviewed their questionnaires and came back and said that the defense's challenge to the 3 jurors being dismissed was denied. The judge said the court found that the state had non-racial means to strike the juror.
So, you live in Frisco, Texas. This is in Plano, Frisco. The amount of black people live in Plano, Frisco is very small. So when you start to get a jury of your peers, it's not a lot of black people that live there anyway. So you're not going to get
Oh, okay. So I guess we can trust Tatum on that. It's not a lot of people. Somebody said it's upper middle class area or whatever. So not a lot of black people there to begin with. Shout out to Uncle Rick. I appreciate you, boo. He said, folks sick and tired of these folks, badass gremlins. Well, we are. That's the underlying fact. Make an example out of all these YNs and whites who don't follow the law. I agree. All of them. All of them. Especially when they're doing team takeovers at the beach, on the grounds, the new Navy Yard, all of them. Destroying, destructive. We just need a new program. But thank you, boo. I appreciate you. Shout out to Mixed Chick. Tatum is a damn lie. So it's not, it's a lot of black people here. Is that what you're saying? Mixed. Shout out to you, boo.
a lot of black jurors. The argument that it's a problem because there's no black jurors is an argument of a person who's a racist. Because to be quite honest, white people sometimes advocate more aggressively for black people than black people do. And these white people that carry this, what we call white guilt. And they want to be a white savior. So sometimes these white people are more radical to support black people when they shouldn't, more so than black people are willing to support black people when they shouldn't. So just because everybody's white don't mean that necessarily it's a biasy, unless you're a racist. And you believe that every white person can't be impartial when it comes to stuff. That's silly to me. But some people are still making an argument.
Child, I don't know about him, child. I gotta be honest. I'm trying to understand the makeup. Okay, hold on. The black population is about 3% in Frisco and in Plano area. Okay. So you're not gonna have a lot. You're not gonna have a lot of black people, unfortunately.
Let's get to Karmelo's defense plan and roll it.
The defense strategy is already clear.
One thing that fascinates me, people say they want fairness, but sometimes what they actually mean is they want favorable conditions. Those are not
correct.
Not the same thing. A fair process doesn't guarantee the outcome you want. A fair process guarantees rules that apply even when you don't like the result. That's the part that gets lost, because the second somebody dislikes an outcome, suddenly the process itself becomes suspicious. Not because evidence of wrongdoing appeared, because disappointment appeared. Those are two very different things as well. Now, I want you to watch what happens when emotions leaves the internet and enters into real life.
Why are you even in his face? Like, why are you even bothering? Playing right into their hands. I don't care what y'all say, Uncle Ruckus and all that other bullshit. Why even give them any attention? He got a whole ass sign saying white lives matter, and you playing right in his damn hands, all up in his face. Then when your ass get arrested, everybody's supposed to give a damn. Child, please, you're not gonna change a racist mind. What the hell do y'all think you're doing most of the time? Let them be racist. Stay the fuck away from me. That's all I gotta say. You think that you don't work with people who are racist, you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your damn mind. They know how to keep that shit under wraps, don't they? And Karmelo being a good student and an athlete with no previous record means nothing. The child is dead. He did it. So that really is a moot point. Has nothing to do with anything. Child, you colors, you so funny. I tell you. Come on, child.
So it's just like yelling the same thing over and over again.
This is the reason why I want to make that because this is a response that is told. This is a response they teach their young people to have. This is a response of the mothers, the black mothers in this community.
No, he over here talking about black mothers in this community. He know what to say to get y'all riled up, don't he? Child, carry your ass on back across the street. Just going back across the street. Just let them be over here. Y'all be over here. You say what you want. They say what they want. And then carry your asses home and nobody goes to jail. These are the adults that are setting the example for the kids.
Teaching people to respect personal boundaries. And teaching people to talk about respect. And that's why we should make that step. Because you're the failure as black parents.
Is that Charlie Kirk on there? Hell, he got to do with this. Oh, whitereplacement.org. Not in the case of Red Rum. Come on now, please stop this. Are y'all really that stupid? The dummism is coming out today, y'all. Oh, well, child, it don't matter that that man is no longer here in this world. He was a good student, child. He was going to school, child. He was on the basketball team, child. Forget that deceased kid down there. Forget all that. He a good boy. Not my baby. Okay. Child, please, we're not talking about you stole something out of Gucci, Fucci, Poochie, and Lucci. Someone is dead, dummy. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I be so confused. Child, this is why I don't be knowing people, because, child, people is crazy. Child, you can see it now. Crazy. If you don't think you're a criminal, then you're not a criminal.
Mutual combat, is that what you just said? Mutual combat. Seriously? Jake, I mean, whatever you feel about Jake, love him or hate him, right? He's out there trying to prove a point, and he's out there trying to have, civil discourse. He's not out there trying to fight anybody or cause any violence. He's trying to say what he wants to say, and in America, we have that right. And of course, the response that he's getting is extreme vitriol, and even calls for violence from a lot of these, black people on the other side. This guy's calling for mutual combat. Like, so instead of having a civilized conversation about the case and the problem at hand, this guy's like, nah, let's just fight about it. Like, that's exactly the kind of behavior that so many people with ghetto fatigue are talking about. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section.
Oh, Lord, they were here talking about ghetto fatigue, child.
Don't know.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget to boycott Asian businesses, y'all.
You're going to have my black people watching this and judging me, going, yo, why would you let this in? This clip is probably one of the most revealing so far because everybody thinks they're exposing the other side.
Is that a bonnet? It looks like a curtain on his head, a fitted curtain or something.
What they're actually exposing is themselves. I mean, just listen to the language, listen to the posture, listen to the reactions. Sure, on one side of it, you can understand the merit, but people spend years talking about de-escalation until they encounter somebody they don't like. Then all that philosophy sort of disappears immediately. That's why self-control is underrated. By the way, I feel like despite both of them getting heated on both sides, free speech is free speech. I will say that. Anybody can be reasonable when everybody agrees with them. That's the real test start when they don't. And then we arrive at the clip that should make every normal person pause, not because it's shocking, but because of how comfortable it sounded.
Cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to keep letting that go, but imagine reversing a racist.
Did you hear that? Wow. Okay. Is this the dude that was telling the fake story? Maybe it's not him, because Brandon Jamal's father was out here, or his stepfather was out here. I saw that briefly.
In that statement. Seriously, don't argue with it. Just imagine it.
Wow.
And ask yourself how long the national conversation will last.
Well, I'm sure he has a great history. He's never been arrested, and doesn't have a history of violence, and went to college. So it's all good. It is all good. Say what you want, child, because everybody likes freedom of speech until freedom of speech come and bite them in their ass. Then all of a sudden, something must be done. Something must be done. Child, out of control. Out of control.
5 minutes, 5 days, 5 months. The reason people get frustrated is because standards exist. It's because standards keep changing depending on who's speaking.
That's true.
That's what destroys trust. Not disagreement, not politics, not ideology. Moving goalposts. Because once people start believing the rules only apply selectively, they stop trusting the people enforcing them. And rebuilding trust is a lot harder than losing it. I tell y'all, at some point, it stops being about social media. It stops being about courthouse theatrics and it stops being about who can yell the loudest in the camera. The trial will do what trials do. But everything happening around it, that shows us something too. Not about the defendant, not about the jury, not about the courthouse, or one courthouse. About what happened.
That dude is Brandon Jamal's stepfather or ex. I don't know if they still married or not, meaning the mom. Anyway. You going down there, girl? Stay away, child. Stay away. Let them have it. Now we're going to go to BCP. Oh, Lord, help your people. Excuse me, Black liberals cope and seethe as student witnesses deliver disastrous testimony. Where did the testimony go? Nobody want to listen to the testimony. Everybody just want to tell everybody that what they think is right and what they know because they're so smart. You don't have to have ever done anything in your life. You get a pass when you delete someone. Oh my God. When technically already it's been shown and proven that, you know, there was no aggression on Austin's side. But y'all continue with that self-defense. That's from witness testimony, not because of these idiots out here carrying on, all of them. Not because of biased reporting from people who just on YouTube that just gonna come say anything. That's a racist, that's a racist, that's a racist. Okay. Keep listening to any old body, but we already know how that goes.
At that point in the trial. Now, this case revolves around a confrontation between Anthony and Metcalf at a Frisco ISD track meet last April. Authorities say Anthony stabbed Metcalf, but Anthony says it was self-defense. After the firefighter testified, the officer who arrested Anthony took the stand. He described handcuffing Anthony as the body cam footage played. According to Officer Eduardo Cortez, Anthony told him, quote, "I'm not alleged, I did it," and quote, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." On cross-examination, the defense did confirm Anthony surrendered peacefully and complied with the officers. The defense also pointed out the no weapons rule.
Let me go ahead and reiterate. You see this, right? So if this is Austin, or this is Karmelo, and Austin touched him like this, and y'all think that's a reason to take somebody on up out of here, remember this. Remember this. Because I know a lot of y'all would like to forget it, God forbid, if/when it happens to someone that you know, someone close to you or yourself, then you're going to be like, no, it's not right, it's not fair. No, y'all are technically saying that this is okay to take someone the hell on up out of here. Think before you think about what should be done, because it's going to be for future. This is why these liberals are out here now carrying on about ABCDs, trans from men to women getting period panties and they having a fit, when it's their fault that we're here with that right now. Remember that, because people don't like to think long term. They don't like to think about consequences. They so fucking emotional about some shit that it's just, this is what we want. And then you'll see the effects later, and then you're gonna be like, oh no, that's what you asked for. That's where it's at.
It's not a criminal offense, just a policy of Frisco ISD. Defense attorney Mike Howard asked Officer Eduardo Cortez about Anthony crying after the stabbing. Cortez said in response, quote, "Did I see tears coming down his face? I can't testify to that because I didn't see his face. My description was based on the tone of his voice." We're now hearing from another police officer right now. This is the officer that found the knife that prosecutors believe was used in the stabbing. This case is expected to go through the end of today and into tomorrow. Live in McKinney, Trevor Sahak.
Wait. So we got to talk about some truly devastating news for Carmelo Anthony, who's currently on trial for murdering Austin Metcalf at a track meet. Okay, everybody knows what happened between these two 17-year-old teenage boys. It's a very tragic situation. It also sparked a whole lot of race conversations, a lot of racial animosity in this country. Just overall terrible story. Okay, but I shouldn't have to go over the basic details because everybody knows what happened. Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about the information that I wanted to know from the beginning, which is what actually happened, right? What the witnesses say happened, okay? And the reason why is because from the beginning, I said that my opinion about whether or not I believe that Karmelo is innocent or guilty is based off the facts and the evidence and the witness testimony in regards to what happened and whether or not Karmelo actually met any of the elements required to claim self-defense. Lo and behold, the actual witness testimony is coming out, and I can't lie to you guys. It looks really bad for Karmelo based off what I'm reading thus far as of the making of this video. And this is very important because the pro-blacks have already declared that this is racism. This is racism, hate, and bigotry, and they made up facts. They made up stories in order to fit a narrative that they only can support with made up facts because given the facts that we have right now, Karmelo doesn't have a strong self-defense claim, right? And if you guys remember, these people were going with the narrative that Karmelo was jumped. See, you don't understand. These two big scrapping white boys were trying to jump Karmelo because they had been bullying him before in the past, right? Karmelo was being bullied by these guys. And that Karmelo acted in self-defense because he was getting his ass whooped, right, by the white boys, and he had to stab Austin Metcalf in the chest. Again, it should be no surprise that none of these things are true, right? But these people have created their own story about what happened, even though there's no facts and evidence to back it up. And it continues to be spread on the internet as the pro-blacks are in full-blown panic that Karmelo is going to be found guilty due to the fact that they know deep down inside that this was not justified, this was not self-defense. But again, they have to play the race game, right? They have to root for their race as if this is some type of team sport, right? Despite the fact that...
Oh, that's a good point. You got to root for the race like it's a team sport. A team sport where the first thing that you do when you hear something you don't like, you start calling names. How many names have I been called today because they don't like to hear the fact that I'm not just saying support Karmelo, support Karmelo, support Karmelo. The fuck? What the hell? Y'all can do that. Y'all do that. Okay. Y'all have fun with that. Y'all have fun with that. Don't listen to anything. Don't listen to actual what actually is happening, what the actual people who were there are saying. Just listen to TikTok, y'all, because TikTok rules the world. Shout out to Dre. I appreciate you. He said, I hate these illogical and emotional arguments used to coddle people. The Splits girl, the Fight girl, Karmelo, and a dozen others. Sorry as hell. I don't remember the Splits girl. Who was that? But thank you, boo. I appreciate you. Shout out to all of y'all that are here, normal and unnormal. Hit the like button for me. Hit the damn unlike button. Subscribe if you're new. You're already giving daggone views. So just go ahead and hit the damn button. Hit a button.
It is likely that Karmelo murdered another teenager in cold blood. But again, this is a story that they're telling themselves in order to feel better about the lies that they're spewing and defending Karmelo, defending the indefensible. Take a look.
The video was on 2 hours. Was it clear enough or was it fuzzy or what?
No, it was clear. It was okay. It's clear enough where you see the actual individual range.
This man came out. I saw this yesterday early, I think, or the day before. He came out here and I was listening to him and I'm like, and y'all are going to listen to this man? Y'all just going to listen to this random man that just came out here and whatever he says is going to go. They put it on the blogs and they all ran with it. We knew it. We knew it. Then testimony really came out. Man fucking lying because he knows what you colors want to hear. Child.
Come by the camera. Okay. I cleared it. You actually see them walking up. You see that Karmelo's already up under there. He's under there minding business.
Dodging the rain or?
Yeah, it was still rain. You know, right. So that day we were under a tornado watch. Right. We were under thunderstorm warning, and we know we had already had some light rain then, and it started raining again, and it was over with. Okay. So that's kind of what happened on that day. But they were at a rain delay already, and so during that time when that happened, the twins, their two buddies, and a few other kids. There was a few kids involved with them. They were all coming from the direction of the middle school, coming walking back up. Right. On the video, you can see those 4 that actually was involved, and maybe about 3 or 4 others that was with them, skipping up, trying to catch up behind. One veered off probably toward his way to go to the coach and kind of distract him a little bit. And then the other 4 came walking together. One went in front of them, went past. Right. The other 4 went and they surrounded Karmelo. You know, if you're Karmelo,
and they showed it on the video.
It's on the video.
Okay, come on.
You can see him walking.
I'm gonna say little stuff.
I'll put it this way.
Okay.
They actually tell you when you're watching the video, pay attention to this corner right here, because if you look anywhere else, you might miss different things. Okay. So watch those 4. Here, they're 4 right there coming up. Right. That's exactly what they say. Okay. And so you have no way to be confused that it's those 4. Okay. So they come up, they surround them, and it's an immediate moment of not even a few seconds of pause. Then that's when they jump. And so
they actually did jump him.
Yeah, it wasn't just no touch. It wasn't just all that moment. Yeah, it was a push. It was all kind of things. But Austin pushed, Hunter hit, and then everybody swung. But at the same time,
it's more than the twins that got some licks. So it showed that in the video.
Yeah, in the video. So again, you got Hunter and Austin standing in the middle. Okay. And you have the light bright boy here, and you have the dark boy here.
Okay. So it is a very frustrated time right now for Black Americans. From the rampant racism, laws being taken away from us, to straight up injustices within the court systems.
This guy, a lot of people like him. He drives me nuts too, because everything is racism and everything is white people's fault. Because if you always blame someone else and you don't take any accountability of where you are and what you're doing in your life, then how do you ever improve? Just saying that it's somebody else's fault doesn't improve your life at all. Your life sucks, it's white people's fault. You didn't get nothing to eat today, it's white people's fault. So everything is somebody else's fault but yours, so not your responsibility at all, you know, because of the white supremacist stuff in place. So Jamel Hill with her more blonde ass hair, who's telling Ya, because I don't listen to that bitch, she's telling Ya to make sure that or she didn't necessarily say it, she's asking y'all if you should not support Asian businesses now off of the strength of Cyrus case. So y'all should get rid of everything. So anything that says made in China, y'all shouldn't have anything to do with it. Child, if y'all didn't do that after C-19, you ain't gonna do it now. I don't care what nobody say. But whatever.
Trial of Karmelo Anthony has started. Now, if you don't know who this young brother is, who at the age of 17, keep that in mind, he is a child, was arrested for stabbing a young man by the name of Austin. But this wasn't self-defense. This was a tragic situation, and I would have did anything.
He said Austin was a child. I'm sorry, Karmelo was a child, so was Austin.
To prevent it. But essentially, from what I know, Austin and his brother, which are 2 bigger white males, came into the area of Karmelo Anthony. Apparently, these
came into the area of Karmelo Anthony, 2 big boys.
Guys were bullying him in the past, and as we know,
they were bullying him in the past, yeah.
Karmelo had to defend himself. The white media right now.
Karmelo had to defend himself, all right? Just because he says it and he says it with fur and all he does is talk about black people, they willingly just believe whatever this dude says. The first time I was watching him, I was like, sir. And then again, and I'm like, sir. But colors love him. Shout out to him. He probably had 100,000 subscribers.
Now is in shambles, and they are trying to paint Karmelo as this monster, this and that. And this is why I made my platform, to give y'all.
That's right. He's a monster. Oh no, he's not. He went to college. He's got a scholarship, and he's got a 2-parent household. So everything is everything, and you should forget everything else.
The white media right now is in shambles, and they are trying to paint Karmelo as this monster, this and that. And this is why I made my platform, to give y'all the black media perspective. What you got to notice is that
so the blacks will listen to his black media perspective because it plays into what they want to hear, and call me names because they don't want to be fair and listen to things that are figured out and not just taken from what somebody else says, and say, you know, you play a part in your life. I don't understand how you colors try to sit up here and act like that you don't have a responsibility to your own life, and that you don't participate in your own life and just allow white people to take over your life. That's mental. If you're allowing white people to do everything to you, that's a you problem. That's you. That's the problem. But he won't tell you anything like that. He'll just say it's white supremacy. So then that's why y'all always saying everything is racist. You know what I haven't heard today, which I'm really surprised, is that everything is Donald Trump's fault.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Go, you're being a racist! Racist!
I'm just saying.
Man, this system, the way they do black people, but specifically black boys, it's embarrassing to say the least.
You can just tell it's a lot of bias shit going on.
Bias,
I
yes.
guarantee if this was the other way around, y'all would want Austin Metcalf to beat the case. The Karmelo Anthony dude don't even have a jail record. He ain't never.
Another thing, he has a perfect record. No record. He comes.
Here we go with the record again, y'all. No, perfect record. Then if it's somebody like the dude that just took out the granny in Chicago on the MARTA train. Thank you, homie. I appreciate you, boo. The dude that took out the granny in Chicago, unprovoked, mind you, unprovoked, just took her the hell on up out of there. I promise you he has a record. But what difference does it make? He took the granny on out of there. Would y'all be over there saying, well, you know, he had a rough day, child. He don't hold it against him, child. He wasn't even on that damn train for 2 minutes and deleted that woman. Child, anyway, come on.
From a great family, 2-parent household. Like, man, it's fucked, bro. I'm Karmelo. Damn, dog.
Been in trouble before, so why is y'all acting like he was a trouble kid? I can understand if he was just out here living reckless. He probably was just tired.
Oh, now all of a sudden you colors understand if somebody's out here doing something wrong. I call bullshit on that. I call straight up bullshit on that. Too many people that we have watched and seen that they said. Remember the person that came out of jail, went to the baby mama house or whatever, took her on up out of there. They all upset talking about how was he let out? What do you mean why was he let out? Y'all don't want people to stay in jail. You fight for criminals. Y'all fight for criminals. So he got out on parole because that's what y'all wanted. Because remember, white supremacy, and white supremacy keeps us from being able to get out of jail, and we don't have the money. That's an ignorant thing to say, and we honestly should be offended by that. So no black people have any money, right? Black people cannot afford lawyers. They can't afford bail. So now you want cashless bail. Got your cashless bail. Everybody get the fuck out. Then you're saying, how is he out? You asked for cashless bail. This is what I'm talking about. You don't think shit through. And then put us all into the mix of this shit. We're not able to get bail and we shouldn't have to stay in jail. Get out, commit another crime. Then y'all like, how did this happen? It's the judge. No, it's you. It's you. You don't think long term. You only think for the fucking moment and don't see what the hell it is that you're doing that harms everyone else going forward. So now the rhetoric is, got a 2-parent household, got a scholarship, got a 4.0 grade point average or whatever the hell it is. He's a good boy. How did that child end up deceased? I'm sure everyone was good at some point, right? I'm assuming when you were born, you were good. Y'all let me know if you weren't. I'm assuming you were good when you were born. You was a baby. You was coming up. You're always good until you're not. What are we talking about? You're always good until you aren't. You're always innocent until you're not. You're always a virgin until you're not. I don't care that I had sex. I'm still a virgin. No, bitch, you're not. What are we talking about?
He was scared for his life.
I believe Karmelo did what he had to do. And if he was my little brother or my little cousin, I would have told him to maybe go about it a different way. And even the fact that everybody's bringing up,
glad my family's not related to this person.
He's at school at a track meet. Why does he have a weapon? First of all, it was a cleat sharpener. And why do y'all act like school shootings don't happen? This is America.
Now it's a cleat sharpener. And now let's bring white people into it, child. We know that most school shooters are white. We know this. And there's no problem with saying that. But But now we got to bring that into it. So why can't we say there's not a problem with saying this kid shouldn't be deceased? This person did this and he's going to be on trial and we'll see what the hell the evidence says. But no, it's straight up. He didn't do anything wrong. The boy is dead. What are you talking about? You're not even allowing the fucking case to play itself out. You're not even listening to the people that were actually there. Just that, as long as that black lady loud, like that dude said, long as she loud, it must be true. Why am I loud? Because child, people piss me off. This shit pisses me off with this stupid shit, and it makes it seem like the rest of us are stupid. Like, why can't we just look at everything and hear what's being said? It's not you're automatically innocent just because you have two parents in your household. That's dumb. There's plenty of school shooters that had two parents in the fucking household.
You know what I'm saying? These crazy ass white dudes walking around shooting up schools all the time. Someone having a knife on them, even if it was, is not out of the ordinary.
And apparently his brother come over to Karmelo. Words are exchanged, and he says they tried to swing at him. Karmelo goes to his bag, and then they pursue. They continue on.
It was raining. They got rained out like crazy.
Now, how these people just making all this shit? I don't understand how they just making all this shit up.
Easy bag. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude. Dude was sitting up on the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing.
This man is totally making shit up, and people will believe him. He's totally making shit up, as are the rest of them. But people will sit here and believe these people. Child, Dre, thank you, honey, said, but Jamel fully supports Asian kids. You know what? Thank you for reminding me, because with all this boycotting Asian businesses, I say we need to start a campaign to boycott Cam because she gonna run for president again. Boycott that bitch too, okay? Go all in, boycott it all, child, boycott it all.
And went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah, it wasn't just one; it was both of them, bro. Austin, the dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was a community.
All right, let me finish this. I can drop the link.
It tracked me.
But if I don't know, you don't even bother. If I don't know, you don't even bother.
Me, bro. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
Yeah. So again, what I was interested in the most, okay, from this trial, and this is part of the reason why I'm like, I don't need it to be televised. I just need to know what the witnesses said. Because let's be
Kennard or Chris Brown comes to town and sells out $2,500 meet and greets.
real. The video that we allegedly have is very grainy, is not definitive, right, in either direction from what we've heard, okay? It certainly doesn't support the side of the story that the pro-blacks are telling, right, the lies that they're telling. But I wanted to hear the witness testimony, people who were actually there and what they had to say about this. And lo and behold, the pro-blacks were lying, right? All the stuff they claimed that probably could have helped Karmelo in his self-defense claim, which is that he was jumped, right? Them two big scrappy white boys, right? Tried to jump him.
Child, the other one was over there on his damn phone minding his TikTok business.
Lo and behold, it turns out that that's not what the witnesses are saying, right? That's not what they're testifying. And we got to talk about this because they're coming out and they're basically saying the exact opposite of what the pro-blacks spread online. And this is not good, right? This is not good at all for Karmelo. So let's get into this. Quote, not aggressive like it would hurt him. Witness details Austin Metcalf's final moments. The parade of student-athlete witnesses continued into late Friday afternoon. A 17-year-old Frisco Memorial High School athlete and friend of Austin Metcalf testified that he saw Metcalf and his brother Hunter warming up on the day of the stabbing. He said he did not previously know Karmelo Anthony. He said he saw Anthony walk up. Quote, he dapped somebody up. I believe it was Eddie. He said, quote, it was nice at first and things started heating up from there. He said Austin was basically telling him he can't be under the tent. This is backed up by the testimony of a coach, right? Who basically said that, yeah, I mean, when it comes to team tents, you're not supposed to have people who aren't supposed to be under the tent. And I totally understand that because stuff gets stolen at these track meets, right? You have all these kids there and people have their valuable stuff, their phones.
No, you can be wherever you want to be. So if you're watching the NBA finals and one of the Knicks goes and sits on the Spurs bench and just sits there, I want everybody that thinks that that's okay to shut the fuck up about it. If you see a Spur go sit on the Knicks bench, I want everybody to shut the fuck up about it, because basically that's what y'all are saying. Yeah, basically that's what y'all. Now move the goalposts and say, but they kids. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Y'all just want to say some shit to fit your fucking narrative instead of listening to what's being said by people who were actually there. Goodbye.
Wallets, whatever, under the tent in their bags, and Karmelo was under a tent that he wasn't supposed to be under, and he was asked to leave. Okay, and again, this was a reasonable request. It's not unreasonable to ask somebody that you don't know who's under a tent they're not supposed to be under, who is near your stuff, to say, hey, you got to go. You can't be here. That's not unreasonable. Okay, so let's continue. He said he heard Anthony say, quote, touch me and see what happens, and that Austin stepped towards him. He testified that Anthony had a hand in his backpack, which he found unusual and concerning. Quote, the vein of Anthony's arm was visible like he was grabbing something. He said Anthony told Austin Metcalf not to touch him. Quote, Austin went and touched him on the shoulder, kind of moving him, the witness said, adding that Anthony then stabbed him. Quote, I was in disbelief, he said. Austin was a bigger guy, and he had tried to be nice about it. He said Anthony was not cooperating, not listening, and that Austin Metcalf did not seem to want to fight. He said Austin used two hands when he touched Anthony. Prosecutors asked whether it seemed aggressive. Quote, not aggressive like it would hurt him, the witness said. He was trying to move him, aka this was not a brawl, right? This was not Hunter and Austin Metcalf jumping Karmelo Anthony. That didn't happen, okay?
Now listen, he probably should have kept his hands to himself. I ain't gonna hold y'all, all right? I ain't gonna hold y'all. Keep your hands to your damn self. And whoever said earlier, go get a administrator, a teacher, whatever, a coach in this case, for sure. But like I said, if this equals deletion, remember that if that's what y'all want to really go for and say it is okay. Thank you, Jay. He said Cam jars, her bathtub green juice for drinking. You so crazy, Chad.
Happened. This is what witnesses are saying. The people who are actually there, not random blacks on the internet making up bullshit. He said it was not self-defense and that Karmelo Anthony murdered Austin Metcalf. He estimated that roughly 12 girls and a few boys, quote, maybe 2 to 5 were under the tent at the time. Here's another witness. Frisco Liberty graduate says she heard, quote,
collateral damage, all the people that had the pleasure of witnessing all of this, because nobody ever thinks about those people and how they're going to live the rest of their lives.
If you wanted me to move, you'd have to move me before stabbing. A recent Frisco Liberty High School graduate who competed in track and discus said her team tent was about 5.5 feet from Memorial High School's tent, and it had been raining off and on throughout the day. She said she heard commotion coming from the Memorial tent, describing it as, quote, more so people wanted a certain person to leave, that person refusing to go, aka the people there wanted Karmelo to leave, and Karmelo refused to leave, even though he had no business being under that tent. She heard Karmelo Anthony say, quote, if you wanted me to move, you'd have to move me. She said Austin Metcalf didn't seem to want to fight. After the stabbing, she said, quote, I just heard his brother trying to find help for him. She said she feels some of the news coverage has been unfair and that it has taken a racial angle. She said she doesn't think the case has anything to do with race, and she does not think it was self-defense. Wow. Here's another student.
She's just a white supremacist child. I'm telling you, that's what they're gonna say. Excuse it and say she don't know what she's talking about. She's just a kid. She a white supremacist. Something. The actual people who were there. But listen to that fool. These fools we just listened to, who clearly were lying because we listened to what the actual reporters had to say. I know they're biased too. So believe nobody, child. At this point in life, just believe nobody.
Stuff like this never happened after fatal track meet stabbing. Another witness, a 17-year-old Frisco Memorial High School student who plays football and competes in track, said his mother and sister were at the meet. His sister is on the track team and his mother worked concessions. He said that when he arrived at the team tent, he was putting on his shorts and saw Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony. Austin was asking him, who are you? Because no one really knew who he was. The witness said he was trying to provoke Austin to touch him. Yeah. So again, another lie that is being debunked, which is that Karmelo and Austin knew each other. And Austin was the big white bully who had been bullying little Karmelo for years.
They have been saying that for the longest time. What are you talking about, Juan? It's funny how witness testimony is only legitimate in certain situations. What situations? They listened to witness testimony in Carson's case, Cyrus's case. They still let the Asian man, Mr. Chow, off. What are you talking about? Like, stop conflating this, please. Stop conflating this. What are we talking about? So when we're looking at trials, now all of a sudden we should just, okay, nothing matters, y'all. Nothing matters. What everybody wants is what it is, child. Lord have mercy.
Years, right? Again, these people on the internet, they just make up whatever. They just make up whatever. They don't care about facts. They don't care about evidence. They don't care about how self-defense works. They don't care about anything except their narrative. That's it. That's all they care about. And again, well,
whoever said that this is June and it's time for a big case to come and pile or raise racial tensions, child, they hit the double trouble this month, didn't they? It all worked out perfectly, didn't they? Now it'll be racism talk up until November. It'll be racism talk. Well, I mean, it was going to be racism talk anyway, but it's definitely going to be some racism talk. And this is supposed to allegedly help Democrats, progressive liberals, in order to get themselves some seats or whatever. We'll see. We shall see.
Oh, the actual witness testimony, the people who are there are saying literally what we all knew, what was reported from the beginning. But again, the pro-blacks insisted, no, see, the white media is lying. The white media is lying.
Yeah.
Karmelo was
jumped. The white media. Yeah. We just saw the black media lying a couple of times.
He was jumped by them white boys. Zero evidence to support that claim. But these people ran with it. They ran with this idea that, Austin had been bullying Karmelo for years, right? A known bully. They claimed that the knife was a cleat sharpener. Like, they just made up so much. Are any of these people going to, actually come out and say, hey, we were wrong about the facts on this, right? We were wrong for spreading misinformation and lies about what happened here. I guarantee you they're not. They're not.
Wait, I know he's not talking about somebody apologizing. I know BCP is not sitting up here trying to think that somebody going to come out here and say, you know what? My bad. I was wrong.
Okay, babe, I'm sorry. You know that I was not, but I never meant to do that way, but you never think of my feelings and you do that I love you, but at the same time you dislike me, what good thing is you? At the same time I get angry and multiple and you don't care, well, but I do forgive you, but at the same time you don't okay, baby, I'm sorry, you gotta think of my feelings, but yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, listen, it's not just women.
But again, this is working out the way I thought it would work out, right? Again, these are the real details that matter here. Quote, Austin was asking him, who are you? Because no one really knew who he was. The witness said he was trying to provoke Austin to touch him. Karmelo Anthony was like, touch me and see what happens. He said, oh no, sounds premeditated, right? Sounds very premeditated. Again, this is not good for Karmelo. This is not good for Karmelo at all. Austin told him, I'm not going to fight you at a track meet. He said, that's exactly his words. Wow. He said Austin Metcalf just touched him on the shoulder. He said he then heard Austin say, quote, he stabbed me, and saw Karmelo Anthony run away.
So is that what they said? Is that what they said? Now, somebody else just said a little bit of a shove to say that it's this. So you should be deceased over this, right? That's what y'all are saying. Just want to be sure. So that if they do change this law and then they say that, yes, this gets you deceased, just remember. That's all I'm saying.
He said he believes Karmelo Anthony provoked him, noting the conversation between Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf was short, less than 5 minutes, and that Austin Metcalf never held on to Karmelo Anthony or anything like that. Stuff like this never happened, not at a track meet, not in Frisco. He said, Austin was my team captain in football and told me he believed in me. It felt like I lost that one extra person who believed in me and pushed me to be great. The 17-year-old witness said he had a really hard time with the loss. Quote, it shook my sister worse than it shook me. He said, see, I'm gonna tell you what the pro-blacks about to say. The pro-blacks are gonna say, well, see, these are all Austin's friends and his teammates, right? So clearly they're lying, right? They're lying. Okay. But again, we have not seen or heard any evidence as of the making of this video, I will say, that supports the pro-black side of the story, right? Or the pro-murder side of the story. Let's be real. They aren't just pro-black, they're pro-murder. Okay. A 6-year-old witness, a wide receiver who also runs hurdles and the 400 in track, said the day felt completely normal before the stabbing. He recalled, quote, nothing unusual going on that day and noted that the rain, quote, was not bad prior to the stabbing. What first caught his attention was an unfamiliar athlete, later identified as Karmelo Anthony, stepping directly into their team space. Quote, he walked up and stood in our tent.
Like I said, the next time that the next finals game, expect to see, if you see a Knicks sitting over there on the Spurs side or the Spurs sitting on the Knicks side, they're just going to be like, it's okay. You don't know. It's fine.
The witness said the witness immediately questioned why someone from another school would be there, saying, quote, it's kind of weird when other schools come and stand under our tent. According to him, Austin Metcalf confronted Karmelo Anthony right away. Austin asked him why he's in the tent, but the situation didn't resolve. Austin asked him multiple times to leave our tent, and he proceeded not to. The team witness said he did state multiple times that he had something in his bag. The witness said Austin Metcalf grew visibly irritated, explaining that, quote, Austin seemed frustrated and that Austin just wanted him out of there. Again, justified. You have some random person that you don't know under your tent with your valuable stuff. He was being a leader. Austin was being a leader. You're talking about captain of the football team. He was being the type of leader that you normally see in situations like that, right? Trying to protect other people's property, trying to protect their stuff. Then everything escalated in an instant. He said Karmelo Anthony nudged Austin Metcalf and then stabbed him. Chaos followed. He recalled that, quote, everybody started freaking out. Austin Metcalf, in shock, kept repeating, I got stabbed. The witness also said Hunter Metcalf was present throughout the entire incident and emphasized that no one saw this coming. As for Anthony's exit from the tent, the witness described it as strangely calm. Quote, it was really odd. He added, I think Karmelo was just trying to get away. He said he believed the incident was not self-defense, saying Karmelo Anthony provoked the stabbing. boy. Yeah. It's not looking good. They're all saying the same thing. It's the same story. It's a consistent story, which should tell you everything you need to know about the actual accuracy of what they're saying versus the stories that have been made up by pro-blacks, right? They're all.
If people are listening to TikTok, child, like I said, we've just seen a couple of people come through and say shit that was completely untrue as we've been sitting here with this. So, whatever. Shout out to Mix Chick. I appreciate you. She said I meant to say Wiley, Texas. You're going to Wiley, Texas? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Actually had the same thing that he just read, but he read it, so I don't need to go over it. So then that takes care of that. Let me let him finish. I don't think there's much more anyway.
Say the same thing. Hey, Austin was simply just asking this guy to leave, right? He didn't belong in the tent. He didn't go to the school. Hey, they were asking him to leave. And he didn't want to leave. Apparently, he was asked 15 times to leave, didn't leave, and it basically provoked Austin to try to physically remove him from the tent. And that's when Karmelo stabbed him in the chest. So,
all right. He ain't got nothing else to say. Dallas, whoever, if y'all want to come up here and talk about this for a few minutes, like, we can do that. If I do not know you, do not come up here. I'm going to tell you that right now. If I do not know you, do not come up here. So don't even waste your time, child. But I think that people should stop projecting. I think it's projecting, saying that, oh, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. This is how things don't improve in the community. You can't just say it is what it is because you want to believe that that's what it is. You can't just say when you weren't even there that this is what happened when you weren't even there. Like, y'all not even willing to listen to what's being said right now. Y'all not even, not y'all, but some of y'all. Y'all don't even want to look at any information that's coming out. Now that the case is finally here, and you still don't want to listen. I mean, and honestly, at the end of the day, it don't matter, because all that matters is what those people inside of there have to say, because there's the only ones that's going to be able to make the decision on what happens to him. So, what do you have after that? Nothing. I don't, yeah, Juan, you can come up. Big boy, I don't have any evictions, even though I think we do. Fa, you can if you want to. You don't have to cam up. I know you. I don't have it. I need to do a eviction night. I don't think I did one for last month. I need to do eviction night, but I always have tonight's conversation. I keep a tonight's conversation. Plus, I got another video for Ashley, so I might save that for tomorrow, and we'll do I guess relationship, because I might come back tonight. We'll see. I'm about to go out here in a little bit. Got some things to do and take care of, so we shall see. But anyway, here, let me drop it again, because Ashley snapped again, y'all. Just FYI, Ashley is tired of these heifers. Goodbye, Big Joker. Shout out to all of y'all that are still here. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Oh, Pascal is on. Uh-oh. Hold on. Uh-oh. Whoop. I hit the wrong button. He says, tensions bull over Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf trial day 3. Wait, is it day 3? I thought it was only day 2. All right. Anyway.
So go check it out, PascalMerch.com. Okay, we got all that crap out of the way. And I want to say, Messi, thank you so much. Yes, hopefully everybody's having a beautiful, messy.
Child, everybody's name is Messi now. What the hell?
Nothing but love out here. Okay, nothing but love out here. You don't.
You don't if you want to.
A smile on your doggone faces, okay? Yes, I know this trial is going on right now, and there's a lot of people feeling some type of way about this trial, and I understand that too. but I also think that everyone needs to chill.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Let's
Everybody needs to
settle
chill
down.
out. Okay? A lot of people being angry at people who are just stating the facts, love. We're just doing that. We're just giving facts.
Exactly.
No opinion so far. No, like, ooh, you know.
No, I got an opinion, but we're just looking at the facts. We're trying to get to the bottom of it instead of just listening to people on TikTok who are so trustworthy. Pascal wants Karmelo to get off scot-free so bad it isn't even funny. Well, he's liberal. I like Pascal, but he's very liberal.
Not wait for the defense to have their shot. Because right now, prosecution is putting up a lot of shocking testimony.
You know the part about him saying that, though? It's the prosecution's time. They go first. They haven't even given the defense an opportunity to come through and present their side of the case where everybody's just wilding out. How come they're not even waiting for that to come? You know what I'm saying?
Get me for saying that. Let me just say this before you finish the sentence that you're going to send my way in the chat. Let me just say this really quick before you get angry, before you hit enter. Hold on. Pause for a second. Let me just say this. We haven't heard from the defense yet.
Child, shut up to me. Whoops. Shut up to me. Exactly.
We haven't heard anything from what defense has to say.
Exactly.
And I'm really looking forward to what they're bringing to the table.
Exactly.
Because let's not forget, he is innocent till proven guilty. Innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. Right now, yeah, prosecution's coming in with that fire right now. They're coming in with the heat, but we don't know what the...
That's what they're supposed to do. Like, yeah, these people are so wilding out already. Thank you, Teddy. I appreciate you. He says, you the OG Messy. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, y'all. Subscribe if you are new. We down to 183 now between both streams. I appreciate y'all.
Side-eyeing some of these testimonies. I'm not gonna lie. I am. I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry.
Oh, I should get that drop.
Some of it seems a little bit odd. That's just me, though. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and come out with some sort of conspiracies or conspirizing or anything like that. But there is, I don't know. It just feels a little bit. I mean, could they be telling the full truth, nothing but the truth? I don't know.
So Pascal's going off of feelings.
But like I said, I'm very interested to see what the defense has to say about this. Real talk. And no, somebody just said, oh, the only reason why you're doing this sitting on the fence thing is because you got a wide audience. Word? For real? What? What?
Oh, they come for you too? Oh, good to know. Good to know.
The reason why I sit on the fence is because there's too much BS out here in these streets. There's too much BS out in these streets. The instant that this kid did what he did, it turned into a race thing like that. Within an instant. We didn't even have to, there wasn't even about wanting to hear about the evidence.
Correct.
How about the evidence?
That don't matter.
How about the information first?
That don't matter. That don't
Instead of us just going, oh, okay, it's a black.
No, you sound racist right now.
The black kid. Or I'm just siding with the white kid. It's on both sides that's going on. White people are doing it. Black people are doing it. We all need to stop and see what's actually going on here.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. But good try. Good try.
Jump down whatever we think is right or wrong. Even so, the prosecution, which I don't agree with, I don't think that I think they're BS in this, but I do think that this whole trial should be about the crime and not the color of this kid's skin or both of these kids' skin. That's what I truly think. Only unless we get a testimony that says, oh, he called him the N-word, or it was racially.
Oh, that would be different. Absolutely.
Charged. Right?
Oh, that don't mean he need to be taken on up out of here. I'm just saying that would be a different perspective for race purposes.
Right. It was racially motivated. Then I can.
But then again, you got that nigga Pascal saying that it's okay for white people to call black people the N-word.
See us talking about
RDR.
Race in this trial, but that's not the case here. I look at 2 kids filled with testosterone. Bad choices were.
You can't say that. That sounds like the patriarchy, because you know these alleged equal feminist misandrist bitches just want to act like there's no differences between men and women.
Made, and one of them lost their life. Now I'm still asking, why would this kid show up with a knife to a track meet that he was not supposed to have?
Hey. What's up, good looking?
Oh, how are you? I love that hat.
Thank you, thank you. Chilling, just got done with yard work, so you know, come see what you're doing.
I'm just trying to see what's going on, try to get some information up here. Hey, Mixed.
Hey.
What's up, girl?
Good. How are y'all?
Cooling.
Chilling. What you thinking, Uncle Rick?
I hope they put his ass under the jail for real.
I remember when you used to talk about it way back when we first talked.
Yeah, like,
I figured that's where you were. Go ahead.
It's like, what's good, chat? How y'all doing? What's good, besties? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right?
Hello.
I look at it like this, right? It's like what you be saying. Everybody want to be indifferent until it hit their doorstep.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For one, I wanted to address the dude that now everybody's saying seen the tape. You seen it last year and you ain't say nothing?
What tape? The one that they just played it.
The one dude you just had with the flower shirt on talking about he seen the tape and they jumped him and whatever.
Oh, that made the story out? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ain't that the tape from across the field, though?
Yeah.
That's the only footage they had, I thought.
Listen to what I'm saying. I don't give a damn if it was a candid camera video done by MTV. Why you just saying something now? This what I don't. I hate liars because everybody lies, right? But we know it don't work like that. If somebody got some dirt, it's coming out, right? Unless it was an NDA sign or somebody locked up or they sequestered, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Right. You don't come out a year later saying you seen this and that. No, you ain't see nothing. You lying. And this the example. I want people to think of it like this because it's never us, right, Messi? It'll never apply to us, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So what y'all saying is if this dude is legit, if he's legit and he's okay to do this little boy, 17 years old, Karmelo Anthony, have y'all ever went to a concert and somebody was sitting in your seat?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Or you went to the movies, right? And you say, hey, could you move out my seat?
Mm-hmm.
Make me move.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to make me move.
That's what I'm saying. I agree.
Right? But you make a move because that's your seat, that's your spot, right? Or a place where y'all was supposed to be at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you put your hands on him, you tap him on the shoulder, hey, get out my seat, and he stab you, it's all G, right?
Yep.
Nope.
They're gonna make it the new rule. I'm telling you. If this goes that way, they're gonna try to make that the new rule. Which, whatever, but there's no thinking downstream impact. It's just emotional right now, right here. And I'm black, you black, so everybody's innocent because everybody is black. Go ahead, Mix.
But they already have laws on stand your ground, and if it's just hitting, him pulling out his weapon is going above. He's doing more to defend himself.
Are you in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I knew that. Okay.
So it's levels to the stand your ground law. And they didn't have weapons on them.
Right. It's called reasonable response.
Yes, thank you, Uncle Rick. I couldn't think of it.
Again, you wasn't supposed to put your hands on people. You're supposed to keep your hands to yourself. But what is a reasonable response when it comes to defending yourself? Mm-hmm. You geniuses.
That makes sense.
Right? If they don't have no weapon, what's a reasonable response? Walk away or fight. What dude said, either you run like a bitch or you fight.
Well, if it was the oppressor, it would be completely different. It would be completely different. If the oppressor had done this, they would be all kinds of wrong. Right. You weren't supposed to do this. It doesn't matter. But because it's Karmelo now it's Black Rescue or something, and he can't possibly be wrong because he's black.
And I pray to God. Look, I want the boy to go to jail. I want him to go to jail. Listen to what I'm saying, right? I want him to go to jail, but I pray to God the defense don't use that he was getting bullied, because then that's premeditated murder. Y'all so stupid. That means if he was getting bullied before, he had the chance to think about to bring a weapon.
Okay.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all better pray this was a random act.
It seems like it's random. It honestly seems like it's random.
But
right?
But then it's like, what kid just walks around with a knife in their bag?
No, I said this before, mixed chick. I'm a father and a grandfather, right? 4 times removed grandfather. I have been at hundreds of athletic events. All my kids, we got 5 kids together. All my kids either play football or traveling basketball, right? You go to different cities and states, you go there. The only kids that's coming there with a weapon are looking to cause trouble.
Yeah.
Like
do y'all hear what I'm saying? Right. Why would you bring a knife, a gun, or anything to a track meet or a basketball game or a football game? You got beef and issue with somebody, or you looking to cause trouble.
Somebody says that it's okay to have the knife because it's a pocket knife, allegedly, even if you're a kid. And then 1 second, which I'm not sure, you're on school grounds, so you're not allowed to have it. At the same time, they're trying to say it's not school grounds because it was the track meet. That still counts as school grounds.
Yeah, I got confused with that too. I watched one of the lawyers that TLA knows, and if it's less than 12 inches or 6 inches, something like that, then you're allowed to carry it. But that don't make no sense because it's signs posted, no weapons allowed.
I'm telling y'all, it didn't happen nowhere near how these people saying it happened. I'm willing to bet you $1. Ain't nobody, or steak dinner at your favorite spot. No kid, like, I don't understand it. Like, y'all act like white kids and black kids are so different nowadays.
They're about the same as far as I can tell.
I keep trying to tell y'all, I work in the school system, this thing people want to call a school system. These kids are all the same.
They are.
Yeah.
They're all the same way these white kids cuss out teachers, these black kids cussing out teachers. And I don't want to hear that, oh, he got all A's. Dummies get all A's nowadays. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, look, we just saw that. We saw that. Oh, graduating and remember the one from Baltimore with a .013 grade point average, and then he got to start all over again. Like what?
Sean showed y'all the tapes of college kids can't read a simple sentence.
Yes. These are people that
Baltimore. That Baltimore was crazy.
It's just listen to what I'm saying, Mix, right? These supposedly young kids who supposedly know better than us, grown folks. These supposedly so-called more emotionally intelligent kids just stabbing people.
Right.
The young girl up in Michigan, remember last year, Michonne, that killed her supervisor, that murked her supervisor.
So many, I don't remember that one.
Right? Remember it was the weird girl, I can't remember her name, right? But her supervisor told her to go home. She went out in her car, came back in and stabbed up her supervisor, and she got all them
McDonald's.
kids.
Yes, where that crazy girl at? Yes, that's wild. That one was wild.
People was tired of y'all badass kids.
That's
it. That's all. He gonna go to jail. I think he should go to jail simply off that, bro. Like
he'll go to jail. He's in Collin County.
Come on, man.
He's going to jail. As soon as I heard about it, he's in Collin County. He's screwed. He's going to jail. Well, then you can get away with a little bit more in Dallas County, but you in Collin County,
So then, if
they gonna make sure they bring charges, that's just like my opinion and how I feel.
Well, you're in Texas, so you probably know. But
and I'm in Collin County, so
yeah. As soon as that happens, though, and then the Black community will go wild in certain places, start carrying on, get into trouble. Few people will get arrested. They will then appeal because I feel like they forget that an appeal will come. And just imagine if they appeal and then they can get a new trial because there are no Black people on the jury. You never know. The lawyer said there was a chance. I'm thinking it could be.
Hey, I don't care. Hey, do whatever they got to do. This could be scandal or long, or I could put his ass in jail. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care, bro. Like y'all the toughest pussies I done seen these kids, bro.
That's
like
true.
when I was young, a bully was a right. You beating your bully up was a rite of passage. You got bullied. That's just it's just the way it go. But like I said, what's a reasonable response? Fight back.
Right. I agree.
Fight back. Oh, it was a cliche. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. You got two hands for a reason.
Right. But you know they don't fight back. That's not a thing.
Pussies. Y'all some pussified parents, bro.
Mm-hmm. No, they
pussies. That's why y'all kids is pussy.
And out here doing the most of nothing and never being held accountable.
Let me sit down and talk to you, Johnny. This isn't acceptable. And pussy ass parents, bro.
And they can't read and sound out the word silhouette and understand what it means.
But then y'all gonna blame the teachers because your kid is stupid.
These teachers are quitting.
Y'all ain't helped with homework in 10 years. They've been in school for 10 years and you ain't helped with homework once.
No, because it's the teacher's job to do everything. No, I agree. I absolutely agree. But we'll see. I just wanted to do that recap.
Put his ass under the jail. Put his ass under the jail.
This is only supposed to last, if I'm not mistaken, about 2 weeks. So this is not even going to be long before we find this out. Maybe 3 at the most. So this is going to be over by the end of June.
You said 3 weeks?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks, I think they said.
Yeah.
I think most of the facts are already available. I think it's more on it's going to be more because everybody knows supposedly a tape, right? Everybody know what supposedly happened. At least the people involved, right? The attorneys, the prosecutors, stuff like that. I think it's just a matter of getting witness statements in line and getting his mental mind state. I think that's the only thing that might save him.
Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, because I switched over to my computer. They're also getting students' phones and recordings from that. My mom has a coworker, and their child went to that school, and they were supposedly getting all the phones and getting the video footage from that.
As they should.
Yeah.
Policy is not law, but again, if y'all understand the way things work, private policy overrides everything. A private policy is why you can get kicked off somebody's land for trespassing. Again, y'all understand these things except when it applies to you. So if that's the case, if y'all understand policy and mandate is not law, why was y'all going along with shit for C-19? Geniuses.
Yeah, it confused me. Policy is not law. Oh
no, but what people don't understand, mixed shit, that contract overrides everything, right? That's why NDA is usually so hard to beat, even in a criminal case. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Because that contract overrides, your consent overrides everything. I didn't get vaccinated, Thompson on the Great. I was about to lose my job. I told him I ain't taking shit.
Yeah, a lot of people said that. Dallas, I don't know if you're connected. Can you hear me?
Yeah, my internet's fucking up under that.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas
connected. Right.
I know she wanted to
talk. Wiley. Oh, sorry, Messy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mix.
I was gonna say, why are the Wileys in Collin County too? And they just came out with the principal or assistant principal doing stuff like they not.
Hey, these teachers is wild and young.
I gotta get to that
I'm wild.
white lady that took down the kid and parents. I haven't gotten to it. I'm gonna do it tomorrow though. For sure.
Just wilding, bro.
Everybody is crazy, child.
That's why I just stay in the house. I can't do it. I can't do it.
You know, I don't go nowhere. I'm here with y'all in the house.
I go to work. Hit up Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Come back home, hit the gym, come back, man. Can't do it. I can't do it.
Right here on this tube, child. But I'm gonna.
That's why I keep my tail in the house.
Yeah, it's crazy though.
Because I even had to go over that stupid rage bait. My son wanted to rage bait me, which kids do, which I don't know why. Man, he got cussed out. He got cussed out and hit. I was like, well, why would you even want to rate? Like, who does that? Why you want to make somebody mad and get your head knocked off?
A lot of things. It's because they don't not used to getting their head knocked off.
Oh no! God told my son, I was like, oh, he got his head knocked off.
People need to fight more.
Close to it. He was like, I was just playing. I was like, don't play with me like that. You want to rage bait somebody? Know who you rage baiting? This ain't what you want.
They have no understanding of consequence. I keep trying to tell you,
correct.
They have no concept of consequence. What y'all ain't never been in a fight. Y'all ain't never got pushed down no steps. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never had your bike stolen. It's the luxury, right? It's the luxury of not having to go through stuff that make people so soft. I'm telling you. That's why I totally disagree with these things that people, I did better than my parents did. I don't know what else to tell you. I ain't saying I was perfect. You know what I mean? But I provided a lot more resource and avenues for my kids than my parents did. We was on our own, shorty. We was on our own. It was like, I don't want to see you in this house till 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like we coddle kids too much. We coddle kids way too much.
Yeah. Just get another program. That's all. That's gonna resolve everything.
Exactly, big boy. Yeah. Is it required? Is it mandatory?
It's like when your job says you shall rather than you should.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, boo. Well, the thing with the jab that you was talking about earlier, plenty of people lost their job saying that they wasn't gonna get it. And my job started talking about that mess. I said, I'm gonna get one shot because I'm going on a cruise because y'all won't keep me from that, but not another. And people always still be like, "Are you getting your yearly? My yearly what? I'm not getting that mess." No,
that was the whole gig, sis, is for them to make that the new flu shot. You see what I'm saying? At the expense of you people, at the expense of you. Yeah. Right? It's like, I'm telling you that it was the day they was about to start letting people go. It's the day that the mandate got dropped.
Is that for the new virus that y'all are talking about?
This was for C19. This was C19.
Oh, Hunter virus seems to have disappeared that quick.
Yeah, because all they put it out there to see how people gonna react to it. That's exactly what happened to C19. They scared everybody into it, and then once they not gonna do nothing to the populace buy in. That's why I kept trying. If y'all go back to my channel, YouTube banned so many of my videos because that's all I would talk about. Like, no,
C19.
Yeah, C19.
Somebody drop Uncle Rick's channel, please.
Man, like that's what they don't understand. People don't understand fear. The fear of it, like. This how you know, like the education system is bad. Because when I went to school, Messy. When I went to school, there was like a virus can only last outside the body for X amount of hours, right?
Just like blood, allegedly.
Right?
Yes, and Messy, I'm finally at phlebotomist.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
It's a virus because it needs something to be in to live, right? It's a parasite, right? So when they were saying, well, it live on surfaces like, don't you get pine sol and bleach and right? And they were saying, well, it survived in the air. It's airborne. Well, if it's airborne, what's the point of wearing a mask?
Right.
We all breathe air. So yet people riding around in a car by themselves with a mask on?
That's on. That was always so funny to me. I agree.
Common sense is not so common. Common sense is really not common.
Not at all.
It's really
I almost called my channel Common Sense. Not so common.
Like I said, y'all sitting up there again. This is how I know y'all ain't never been through nothing. Y'all ain't never sat in the hospital with one of your loved ones and asked the doctor and advocated for yourself. Because if you ever were in a car accident and they had you on a ventilator, they want to get you off a ventilator in 72 hours. You know why? Because if you don't, your body gonna go into recession, right? And then pneumonia is easier to form. That's why all them people was getting murked with pneumonia.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask anybody who been in a dire accident, had they lung collapse or anything. If they got you on a ventilator, they want you off a ventilator within 72 hours.
Okay. Interesting. We be leering around here. We be leering.
I just need to learn how to climb a damn tree before you start pulling the knife out. Jesus.
And I hope they put that kid under the jail. So we're at the point in Western society where people really need to start being made an example of.
I agree. It's the only way to deter the behavior, hopefully. But you got weird ass Democrats and progressives who don't want that to happen and call it all racist. And it's like, so we got to live amongst the crazies. Because that's basically what's going on right now. We're living amongst the crazies.
Right. That's the only thing that can give it life is they attach racism to it or some type of emotion. Because common sense, it doesn't make any sense for you to even be validating it.
Yeah, they'll always bring race into it. It was unfortunate, but they always will. This is what they did with my brother. And it wasn't social media around then. I think maybe MySpace. And people would just make up stuff. I'm like, you wasn't even there. I've had somebody tell people they was in the hospital when my brother passed away. Like, nobody was in the what? We weren't even in the room with him. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
people want to be a part of something so damn bad. Damn bad.
Yeah, we talking about 26 years later.
Wow.
My brother was not famous or anything. What are you talking about? And of course, it was the other side, the white people side. Who did? It's wild. It's really wild.
I agree. Well, we'll cover more of it during the week, y'all. I'm done for today.
Get on out of here. Go get your Starbucks.
Absolutely. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for coming up.
No problem. Y'all have a good day. Bye.
Talk to y'all later.
Laters.
Shout out to all of y'all. I appreciate you coming through today. Happy Saturday. Shout out to everyone, all the new subscribers. I see y'all. I appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. It's almost 4:00, so I don't know if I'll come back later, but maybe I will. So turn on the what is it called? Notifications. All right. Thank you all. Goodbye, big boy. Goodbye. Goodbye, sir. Anyway, look out for another stream. We might do another one tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow at 10 a.m. Usual Sunday show. We'll go over the more tonight's conversation, of course, because it's never ending in the Ashley thing and that heifer that's taking down kids, because we could do that every day. I see y'all. I appreciate you. Shout out to everyone that donated today. Appreciate you. Shout out to all the mods. Thank you so much for your support. Shout out to all the channel members. I appreciate you. Go watch a previous video. That would be awesome sauce. Thank you so much. I see you all in the next one.